www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, multi clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get you Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of upside margaritas and old-fashions. And take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge, 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Barrels Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. Right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. It's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear that you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour 1 of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Away we go, Thursday edition of Old School. Welcome to the show. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you, brought to you as always by Graham Tire Company. How's it going, Sunshine?
It's going all right, man.
I don't believe you.
It's not. It's just. I'm just going to tell you, but I'm pissed off.
Are you Ray Lewis pissed off for greatness?
Yeah, whatever. Trey Palmer, Ray Lewis. I'm just Jay Foreman, just pissed off. You know what's funny, man? Here's the funny thing about it. I got a couple good friends, man. Jason Peters, that's at I3 Bank, and A.A. Ron Bell. They always be like, man, this is my friend Angry Jay Foreman. They know me. I'm just chill. If I don't know you, I'm not gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I do kind of know you, it's gonna take like probably like 2 or 3 years before I'm actually gonna kind of like warm up to you.
Say something. Yeah.
And then I'm just not. I don't. I just kind of just chill, just keep to myself. But if I know you, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
But today is the day. Right now, I'm just telling you right now. And Jason Peters, I hope you're listening. Today, I'm pissed off. I just had a day planned. I had it all kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just scheduled out in your head. It was going to be great, glorious.
Had something from had something like 8 o'clock. That fell through. I had to run, do something else. Then I had to backtrack. Then I had to go do something else. Then, man, I know exactly what I need, but I can't do that right now. I know exactly what I need, but I can't do that right now.
The woosah.
Oh, man. Magical. Then I was rolling down here. I was like, you ever see that Snoop Dogg show when he would go in the garage and eat chicken?
No.
Yeah, he had a little setup in the garage, and then his wife used to get mad because I guess he must have had high blood pressure. Dude, he ain't up but like 140 pounds. Well, he's eating a whole bunch of fried chicken. Because a couple of hours later, after having his woosah, he got hungry. Then I was thinking, like, like if you go past like Home Depot or whatever, they have those like it looks like little mini. They're not mini houses, but like like a already made kind of shed.
Yeah,
but they're big.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's exactly. I'm thinking like
shack up in there for a couple hours.
Man, I could put like 4 TVs in there. 3 or 4 recliners. Get the the thing where you can just make sure the air circulates out.
Mm-hmm.
Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah. Then I'm thinking like, man, I could just.
Most importantly, alone.
No, I got seats in there. You can,
okay,
but
cool.
There'll be a code.
You change it every 30 minutes.
I would change it too. Security would be like, hey, dude, you ran out of codes. And then I'd forget.
No, I didn't.
And the worst part, because I'd probably forget it.
The problem is your first code is too easy to crack.
Nah, I got a couple go-tos.
We're trying this during break.
My go-to.
You go to codes.
No, you can't.
We're not
get
trying
my
this
code.
during break.
You can't get my codes because it's stuff you ain't even think of, man. I'm like Kaiser Soze. You know what I'm saying? You ever see that movie?
Yes.
Usual Suspects.
Yes, Usual Suspects.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I'm not surprised.
That and Heat.
Yeah.
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 I would have left town though. Hey, I would have had to get you back like when we 60, 70 years old. I'm gone.
See ya.
Yeah, I got a fake ID and I just robbed a bank. Holla at a player, see in the street.
2086 says, are you throwing a golf simulator in your pre-built shed?
You know what? If I had the money and if I had the space, it would be in there. It would be magical.
But you would keep your golf simulator in your personal shed. You're not installing it in the football offices.
No, that one right there.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
So my
couldn't help
idea,
myself.
really, to be honest with you, is have it in there and have like a little section where I could go in there, cut some podcasts after dark. So I could might get one like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Wakey, bakey, wait, was it wake and bake?
Emergency pod. Oh,
yeah. Good morning. Salutations.
Start your day off right.
Yeah. Have me my little, I don't drink coffee. I have me some tea and a little, put some herbs in there.
There you go.
It's from the earth. It's good for you.
It is. Always.
You know what I mean?
The journalism college, I don't remember how long ago this was. I think I was a student there. No, it had to have been after I was a student there, or the very end of my time. They put in just like a one mic recording studio, but it was more like recording studio. They have like other like little radio studios, but it was a box. I mean, it was a square box, fully padded walls, one mic, one computer. Just do your thing in it.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm picturing for your show.
Yeah, in there, and then I got a little film breakdown and stuff like that.
Would there be any sort of cooking equipment in this?
Nah,
show?
we're gonna keep that outside.
Okay,
but, I'd like
a fridge with drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
we have a nice little wall. I got a little idea.
Anything more than a corner to relieve yourself? Or are you doing full bath?
No, I need to
at least
have
half bath.
Yeah, because I that's where I get all my thoughts from.
Right?
I do it. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've broken down film on the porcelain throne and had some of my best breakdowns in thoughts. It just clears your mind, man. You're in there.
Clear your bladder, clear your mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I never understood that. But I think the trip to the bathroom is wasted on the young. All these great ideas you have, maybe you have to be mature to recognize that, hey, go clear your bladder, clear your mind. There's something magical about that time. I'm finding even more now as a father.
Oh, yeah. It's your loans. Sometimes you just run off in there. They think you're actually in there doing stuff. You're just in there just getting your mind right.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm sure I will at some point.
Yeah, it's coming for you.
Feel free to run on over to Graham Tire if your car's not working. They do a great job. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. Anniversary coming up soon, so stay tuned for details on their anniversary sale. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Lane is asking me if I remember the AP Style Guide. I remember hating the AP Style Guide. So the Associated Press, right? That's AP. I understand that they're like, the bastion of journalism, supposed to be like straight down the middle. We tell you, the proper like format to write stuff in. That was honestly my biggest issue with writing, because I moonlighted as a DN writer. Editors with sticks up their butts.
Oh, no.
And I appreciated my time at the DN for what it was. Brought me a couple of my best friends to this day that I still talk to. Had a blast doing it. But my whole thing was, I thought that college was for, hey, try this out, see if this works. Hey, take some risks, take some leaps, find your voice,
feedback,
whatever.
Or some constructive criticism that actually works towards some.
Right. And sure, uphold the standards and whatnot. But if you don't like how I write the score, or I forget a dash when I say this kid is 13 years old or, 27 years old or whatever it is, who cares?
Yeah.
Just getting so hung up on these little details. I'm sorry. They can't matter that much. If you know what I'm trying to say, who cares if there's a dash or not a dash? Now, Oxford comma, I'll fight you on that all day. Need the Oxford comma. AP Style doesn't want that. But I just would kindly ask most editors to remove the stick from their butt and let fun ideas take their place.
Yeah, a little issue with somebody like that this week.
Man,
people take themselves too serious.
They really do.
All right, I'm back. Calm down now. I'm still mad, but I'm all right now.
Disc golf, Jake. Fantasy football lineup is best done in the bathroom.
Yeah,
but that's not really thought. That's a lucky guess.
Yeah, but you got to think. My man Tony T. Time Miller at UBT Bank. My man comes over there and he does scouting reports.
I cannot imagine.
And then when I got over there, I was like, man, I play football. I know this stuff. I know who's good. Every time I get over there and I pick the team, I thought I got a good team. They hot garbage. Team, hey, when I picked the first 3 to 4 dudes and maybe I get busy and they do the snake draft, I end up winning. Then that pays for the next year.
There you go.
Yeah, it's more camaraderie. I don't really take it serious. I mean, I've seen where guys lose a fantasy league. Then they got to go take a trip. They got to buy a plane ticket and go over, fly 24 hours. I mean, that's almost torture. I mean, that would not make me want to play.
Have you kept up with any of that Matt Miller story from ESPN?
He's down bad right now.
That's a problem
because he was the ESPN guy for that or for fantasy football and obviously NFL stuff, and then he had
big draft guy,
had a big fantasy league, and then he wasn't paying the payouts.
91 leagues, potentially,
but wasn't paying the payouts,
right?
Yeah.
And maybe got back to some people a few years later with their prizes or whatever after they kept hassling him for it. Well, and then gets in a horrible car accident that at this point seems like it was his fault. Had to have his arm amputated.
Yeah.
And, his family set up a GoFundMe, which on the one, okay, obviously, I mean, it's going to be, can't even imagine the expenses and everything that's going to have to change for him and his family. But it was kind of ironic to some people that this guy that has essentially scammed people in fantasy football is now asking for money for medical bills.
Yeah. I mean, and the internet is ruthless, or X or whatever you want to call it. People, look at they can talk freely or type freely, and they hold no grudges or whatever.
Well, hold all the grudges. They let you know.
Well, I mean, they. Well, obviously he's hurt and he doesn't. Obviously, his arm is gone and all that. But I'm just saying some of the stuff that you say to athletes or any politicians or whoever's typing them, they wouldn't say that face to face.
Absolutely.
About that time I was told the dude I'd meet him at Holmes Lake, right?
No.
Yeah, and I tweeted a picture. I was like, I'm waiting for you. Somehow he got in the comments.
And it wasn't Terrell Farley?
No, this is some dude. And then I don't even know what I was doing, like, or what I was even talking about because I don't do politics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never do that. I don't even talk about it with even friends or family. I just don't do it. I think it's stupid. You know what I mean? I think it's like nobody's ever going to be happy with the conversation. So I'm, just trying to live every day and be, in a decent mind frame. Somehow I was talking about football and then, because I was from Minnesota, or I'm from Minnesota. So then he was just like, start going off. And I didn't even know what Minnesota was known for. All I know is like I went there in high school. I ain't been there in like 30 years at this time.
Okay.
So I'm just like, man, whatever. He said, call me something. I said, well, I said, these hands can get liberal. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to tell me something I wasn't.
You won't be conservative for the number of punches you're throwing.
Right. He was telling me something. I was like, I know two things I can be liberal. These hands are liberal. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Your tooth is about to be independent of the roof of your mouth.
He said, I'm in Lincoln. I said, cool. I'll meet you at Holmes Lake. And he's like, how long? And I was like, 5 minutes. Because I was already on the way. And then I got talked off the clip. But I did tweet a picture. I was like, where you at, man?
You probably ended up at North Shore. You were at South Shore.
You're probably somebody. You're probably somebody just messing with me.
Maybe it's like a Russian bot or something.
Probably. Because shortly after that, then I went out of town. I came back. I was shut down.
Oh yeah.
I was in Mexico, and I didn't even get on there. I just got off the plane and got text messages like, "Hey, we're trying to get a hold of you," or whatever. And I tried to log in there. It was like, nope. It was just I was down bad for a little while.
But now you're back.
I was down bad for a little while.
Back like a turn of the Jedi.
Yep.
We love it. All right, 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Something that brings everyone together, obviously, is Nebraska football. Mostly joking. But we'll tie a Nebraska angle into this article from Ralph Russo of The Athletic that I thought was pretty interesting. Advocating for the return of ties in college football. Jay, without any other context that Ralph has said or anything, do you like the idea? Or are you against the idea?
I don't like the idea. I didn't even like it when you could have ties. I like it. I mean, football, you only play 12 games at least, in college. In college. And so, you're 10-1-1. And, they depending on who views or how they view ties back then and where their votes went, would it sway whether you get into the national championship game or not.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it that they play and somebody has a winner. I like it that they cut it down so you don't have to have the MAC action when you're in like the 8th overtime. I don't like the ties. I don't see a reason to go back and do it, but it would change some tenures, what we'll get into. Ties is just because then you have then also for coaches out there. Well, for some coaches, it would work out well for because like, he's playing, he's playing, because remember they say you're playing not to lose.
Yeah.
You should be playing to win. Well, some guys would be like, all right, I'm good enough. We're going to play we're going to get back. At least we can tie. And then therefore you can come into the press conference and say like you're an unranked team and somehow you end up tying like Michigan or if Michigan or Ohio State or somewhere like that. Man, that's just like a win. A tie for a team that's favored or heavily favored or in a rivalry game and when you're favored, dude, that's like a death sentence. And I assume that the fans and the media will hold that against you. Like that'll be part of your obituary when you get fired. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not for it.
So Ralph Russo did put a couple of those examples in here. Florida State certainly felt like a winner in 1994 when the Seminoles rallied with a 28-point fourth quarter to tie Florida in what's known as the choke at Doak. You mentioned, rivalries and Michigan, maybe 92 Michigan. They tied with Ohio State.
Yeah.
And Gordon G is quoted as saying, this tie is one of our greatest wins ever. As he watched Michigan run out the final minute from deep in its territory. The result snapped a 4-game losing streak in the series for Ohio State and marked the first time John Cooper didn't lose the game.
But eventually he got fired anyways.
For not beating
Michigan. So
didn't keep his job for tying Michigan. He lost his job for not beating.
Yeah, exactly. So it at the time, it's a victory. When they ready to get rid of you, it's your death sentence.
Yeah.
I just think that you know what I quit or look at or my analogy of a tie is in that situation. So say the game is tied and say you're a team that's not ranked and say it's a game or a rivalry game and maybe you just feel like a tie would hurt X team, or like Duke and North Carolina's playing. Duke is having a great season. North Carolina's so-so, and the game's tied, but they should actually go for the win or whatever it is, right? And they should go for the tie. You see, it'll get to where, remember when Princeton beat Georgetown? There was no shot clock, and it's like 41-38. And I think we're past that. I do understand that, and I was even mad that the NFL had it that one time when, remember, was it Donovan McNabb didn't know they tied Cincinnati?
I think so, yeah.
Against Cincinnati, too, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the same thing. Philly was definitely heavily favored, better team, obviously, but then they, got the tie, and it's a black eye on Donovan McNabb, in his kind of career or whatever, and this is small, but then also it's just a black eye on the league. A tie? We're playing a sport to win.
And of course, Ralph Russo did have to go with the soccer example. Well, think about Spain and Cabo Verde. I mean, that was such a big result for them. No, it wasn't a result. Spent all that time running around to decide nothing. You play to win the game.
Yeah.
Full Herm Edwards style. And I take your point too, how different the ties can feel. Let's say, Team X versus Team Y. Team X is heavily favored. Team Y has the lead as the underdog. And then Team X comes from behind. They score a touchdown and they're down by one, right? Maybe it's the Tom Osborne example against Miami, not the perfect one. Would they have won a title? If they
would have.
If
they kick the extra point, they win. But Coach Osborne
win the title.
Get
voted in.
Yeah, they would have won the title with a tie. But he went for the win. And then he didn't get the title. So I can understand that.
And that's the psychology of sports, because if you're the highly favored team, you have 1-2 thought process. We have to take the tie. We've scrapped back. We have to avoid the loss. The flip side of that is we can't lose to these guys. We're the better team. We're going to put it all on the line. We think we can be better than them for one play from 3 yards away.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if you're the underdog team and you're coming from behind, you say you force a turnover, or you have the Miami Georgia Tech thing happen, right? Where, they make a stupid decision. You have final chance to go down and tie or win the game. Oh man, I mean, we're in field goal territory. Do we try to push it and win the game? Or do we say, hey, we have an automatic kicker. We haven't had a kick blocked all year. We're going to run the ball to try to get yards, see if we can break something. But if not, a tie feels almost as good as a win for us, or certainly better than a loss when we were gifted an opportunity we weren't sure we were going to have.
Yeah, I think circumstances can kind of change if they are brought back into the rules. Like, in Nebraska's case, they kind of always kind of been on the doorstep. You're the better team, Miami. You're playing on a road game against that Miami team. You know what I mean? Because you're in the national championship, but you're down and playing in Miami. It's essentially, congratulations, you got a road national championship game. You probably be more apt to kick the field goal, and then therefore you definitely have every argument because of your dominance all season to obviously, be the national champion. But then when you mentioned on the flip side, Miami against Georgia Tech, right? Miami wasn't necessarily going for the tie, but they were. In the back of Cristobal's mind, you had to be thinking the style points, which is essentially the same thing as a tie or not a tie, was in the back of his mind. Well, they fumbled a snap. Next thing you know, 2 passes later, game over.
Yeah.
Or when when Florida State was trying to run out the clock, they just went, house call on you because you played too conservative, because you were playing against the clock and essentially playing not to win. It's all the same. And everything would be circumstantial. Soccer isn't fair. But they don't have. You can have in the NFL preseason. I think you should have a tie.
Sure, play your 60.
Play your 60 and be done. Regular season or anything like that, no way.
Careers are on the line.
Yeah,
legacies are on the line.
And we're playing to win, and we're playing for something. Soccer is weird.
Amen.
In the sense of, a great game in soccer. Like if you're a great player, like say you're playing soccer, a great player, and I love European soccer. I mean I will get up Saturday mornings. I remember getting up. From as long as we've ever had cable, Saturday mornings. It would, and also before that, it would be like rugby over in South Africa when they would score and they would do that. Yeah. So that would come on, and then they would have European soccer. But the funny thing about soccer, you could be a striker or a wing or whatever they're called and have a whole bunch of great runs. And that's a phenomenal game for you. And you might get a couple shots, but the goal, you either hit the post or the goalie makes, that's it. So if we're tied.
You score once every 3 games.
I just ran for 90, like U.S. played 100 minutes last night. I just ran around for 100 minutes, all right, in the heat. Somebody's winning. Like Denzel says, I'm leaving here with something. I'm either leaving out with a pat on the back or a punch in the face. I'm not going to do 100 minutes of cardio and run around, and it's a physical sport, and not have a W. I think, and I'm not even sure the best team even wins with the shootouts either.
Oh, no.
I don't think that's either. But ultimately, I'm not a for. I understand the article.
Yeah, so Russo's main argument that we'll touch on briefly here, because I do want to get to the Nebraska aspect of especially overtime, I think, in our second segment, is, hey, the season's getting longer, right? You can play week 0. It's going to go all the way through the end of November, plus the playoff is expanding. So at this point, with the season getting longer, what's the point of forcing a result when the playoff's bigger? You have more chances to break these results, when it matters more in the postseason. He does say, well, we're probably not getting rid of overtime. So why doesn't college rules go back to NFL rules, where you just play an extra period, or call it 10 minutes as opposed to 15 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever. Just say, hey, at the end of this in the regular season, we're done. And then go to the, 25-yard line duel.
We'll play one extra 3/4 of a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like that. I wouldn't even, maybe it's even, I think you might want to even go down to like 6 or 8, probably 8 minutes. And each team has to have a possession, and then and then you go into the
2-point shootout or 25-yard line,
with 24, like maybe 15-yard or whatever. Because I'm giving you a bonus of the 2 possessions in the overtime.
Yeah,
I'd like that. You know what I mean? That'd probably be something a little different. And see where it goes. I just think, going back to ties, man. There's only one game I was okay with a tie. I'll tell you this before we go to break. This is the only game I've never played a game that I was like, all right, man, I'm ready for this to be over. Never. And I don't even know if this was it. It just was. It was so long. We played New England one year, and they had this. So in Buffalo, it wouldn't be equivalent of being 80 degrees out, but you could start a game and it'd be like 48 degrees, and then it'll start to kind of come down a little bit at halftime and come out of halftime. And they'll have the dang snow blowers and stuff out there. Seriously. And so I forget what it's because like lake effect snow. So it came in from the middle to the end of the second quarter through halftime, third and fourth quarter. And we just, both of us in New England, just missed the playoffs by one game. So it pretty much was like a toilet bowl. And we were out there playing, and this is where so Ted Washington, Pat Williams, they used to make fun of me because I was slew-footed. They called me Sweetie Rabbit because of the feet, right? But the one thing that happens with those slew-footed is you got superior traction in the mud and elements.
You are not falling down.
There's one brother that was making almost every tackle. I think I had like 36 tackles that game. And what Bill Belichick did, he brought in Henry Thomas, who was a defensive lineman, and put him in at fullback. And the funny thing is, I was a ball boy for Henry Thomas for the Vikings.
Oh, that's wild.
And so, we get the ball, drive down, about to kick a field goal, kicker would slip or miss. New England would get the ball, or we'd turn it over. Vinatieri would miss. So we're playing 15 minutes. And it is, Austin, when I'm telling you, if it went from, say, 50 degrees, by this time, it's like barely 20 degrees. Blizzard snow. I don't know if you ever see that picture where I'm in with long sleeves and I'm on field goal protection.
Okay.
Dude, that game was so cold. I had a full on kind of like thick thing underneath you know what I mean? And then the winter gloves on. Feet were cold and all this other stuff. And so we finally got down, and I would never forget it, is that we had the ball. They punted to us, and we got the ball, and the guy, we ran it and thought we was going to, because the score, he's going to turn the corner. So as he was turning the corner, the ball slipped out of his hand. New England I'm thinking we're going to score and win the game. New England recovers it, just runs a couple kneel downs, bleeds the clock, makes the field goal. No handshaking, nothing. Everybody just ran in there.
Oh, no.
I stayed in the shower for like 30 minutes.
Just to defrost.
Hey, my dad and them, I asked them if you guys stayed in the stand, and they all said, yeah. By the time we got to the apartment, he's like, we can't lie. He said every family member was in that little players lounge in the Buffalo Bills stadium that could fit in there. Some were just out in the concourse because it was so cold outside.
Man. 4831 says ties in sports are stupid. There should never be a tie. I'm in agreement. It's a lot different, though, when you give points for ties. Like hockey, you give points for win, loss, overtime loss. in soccer, win, lose, or draw or tie, you at least get some points for it. That's not how it's tabulated in real football. So, yeah, ties are stupid. And D-Man, that's an interesting question. We'll keep that on the back burner. Hope to get to that here soon. But how would the re-addition of the tie rule have affected Nebraska football over the last, let's call it, 12 seasons?
It would be more interesting to see how what would the tenure of Scott Frost look like.
I have some data on
there
that.
You go.
Went through everything through Mike Riley, Scott Frost, and Matt Rule. How would the tie rule in college football have changed Nebraska's strategy and potentially record? He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. We'll be back with that on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild will be open on the 4th of July, serving up our award-winning barbecue. Pick up a slab of slow-smoked ribs and a family pack on the way to your celebration. They come loaded with your choice of meats and sides, complete with buns and our famous Hog Wild sauce. Order online at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Bonsall Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonsall Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Hour 1 of the show brought to you by the good folks over at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Really appreciate them hopping on to sponsor Hour 1 of the show. You can learn more about Heartland of Nebraska Windows online by giving them a visit, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com, or by calling for more information, 402-430-3852. Jay, I thought the segment was going to be how different would Nebraska's recent football history be if there were ties in college football, except that most likely the tie would come after some form of overtime period. And we know Nebraska's overtime record has been completely dismal. Haven't scored in overtime since walking off Iowa on Tommy Armstrong to Kenny Bell in Iowa City in 2014. So the record doesn't really change, but we can kind of fudge it a little bit and just kind of talk through some of the close calls. How does the mindset change if there would have been, let's say, a tie after regulation? And so I broke it down 3 different ways. Number 1, how many times has Nebraska forced overtime by coming from behind? How many times has the opponent forced overtime? And how many times has Nebraska just needed to hold on in the fourth quarter, either to tie or win outside of overtime games? So first and foremost, Nebraska has had a lead and allowed a comeback to go to overtime 3 times since 2015. Down in Coral Gables, Nebraska was down 23 points entering the fourth quarter, came back, ended up losing in overtime after beating Miami the year before. 2016, Wisconsin, the good year for Mike Riley. Nebraska was down 10 entering the fourth quarter. Wisconsin then scores in overtime, misses the extra point kick, and Nebraska gains 2 yards in 4 plays to lose in overtime. And then 2023, Wisconsin, Nebraska, of course, scores twice in the first 9 minutes. The game is tied at 17 with 4 seconds left before Wisconsin ultimately ends up winning that one. On the flip side, Nebraska has given up a lot of leads that have led to comebacks and overtime wins for the opponents. Northwestern 2017, Northwestern 2018, Colorado 2019, Michigan State 2021, and then Illinois 2024. Yeah. And the way I described comeback was, anytime Nebraska had the lead in, the second half or fourth quarter, and allowed the opposing team to come back. But you mentioned the Scott Frost era. We can dive into those games in particular here. So 2017, Northwestern, end of Mike Riley. Well, the next year, 2018, on the road, Nebraska's up 14 points early in the fourth quarter, up 10 with just under 6 minutes to go. Northwestern ties it in regulation, wins it in overtime, and what would have been Scott Frost's first win in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and that's
for Nebraska.
Yeah, and they drove the field. It was like 2% chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2019, Colorado. Nebraska comes out firing.
Yep.
Ends up letting that one go. So Colorado came back to take the lead or tie. Nebraska retakes the lead. Colorado ties it with 46 seconds left. Ends up winning it in overtime. I think that was the game they had with their 4th string kicker, Isaac Armstrong.
Yeah.
The
and
safety.
then remember he didn't want to kick it. Then the couple plays in overtime in the red zone were not very good.
Yeah, no. And then 2021 Michigan State. Nebraska's up 20-13 before the infamous punt that goes the wrong direction. That's before we even get to the close calls where Nebraska had fourth quarter leads and let them go. So 2018, obviously, Colorado. Nebraska was down by 15 points, came back to tie the game, and then got walked off. If they just could hold on for like 4 more seconds, in this hypothetical college football world, they walk out of there with a tie. 2019, Nebraska's ahead of Purdue before Aiden O'Connell comes in and marches Purdue down the field for a David Bell touchdown. And then Nebraska were tied the entire fourth quarter until they got walked off with 1 second left on the clock. Nebraska led Northwestern and Iowa in the fourth quarter in 2020 and lost those games. 2021, Nebraska was tied with Michigan at 29. Just needed to hold out for 2.5 minutes essentially on the clock with the ball to tie or win the game. Of course, the Adrian Martinez fumble, Michigan wins. Nebraska also could have held on for ties against Wisconsin and Iowa that year. And then 2022, Northwestern, Georgia Southern. Nebraska led that game 42-38 with a few minutes to go, and Wisconsin. There's a lot of just close calls where Nebraska, had the lead and could have either avoided a loss or held on to a win just in the Scott Frost tenure alone.
Yeah, and then what is that, about 5 or 6 games?
That was, so 2018 was 2, 2019 was 2, 2020 was 2, 2021 was 3, so there's 9, and another, I suppose, 1 for Frost. About 10 games over 4 years and change that Nebraska at least could have had a tie.
So then you take those 10 losses away. What does that change for his overall record?
The problem is that Nebraska wasn't really close to qualifying for a bowl. So even if you take those away, you're still like 4-6-2, or 3-7-2.
Well, because now he has the worst record in Nebraska history just based on wins and losses, right?
Yeah, or win percentage, I think, for qualified coach. Yeah.
Right. And then essentially ties don't against you. So then that would boost up his win percentage.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah. But that's just the part of it, though. Yeah, you boost your win percentage, but it doesn't really change the outcome of the season.
No.
Because Nebraska was so far away. It's not like really the only one I think that stands out to me. And again, this is all butterfly effect, ripple effect stuff. The Mike Riley game against Wisconsin. Nebraska gets down on the road by a couple possessions in a top 10 matchup. Okay, seen this before. Nebraska battles back, just has to get a first down essentially to ice the game. Can't do it. End up going and losing in overtime. What if anything is different if Nebraska walks out of a top 10 battle on the road with a tie instead of a loss? Is Ohio State still 62-3? Does Nebraska get run over, around, and through by unranked Iowa and unranked Tennessee at the end of the year?
Yeah.
I still wonder if there's any difference between a loss and a tie for that 2016 team.
That would, no matter what, that would change your psyche. I think the Ohio State game probably still a loss, but it's closer. And then also, I think around it, I think you don't have, the buzzards trying to run him out of town right there. And I think the one thing about Mike Riley and his tenure, you got to think, as, Scott Frost wasn't here directly, but he was here, or he was indirectly here and directly affected Mike Riley, is that, even though Mike Riley, I'm not a Mike Riley apologist, right? I think that he essentially was hired because he's the exact opposite of Bo, and I don't believe in that by any means doing so. But I also know that, look, he was 500, right? And so as Scott started to do better, I think you started to find reasons to get rid of Mike Riley, and whether it was ties or not, those were magnified as Scott started to win. So even if he was, granted those ties, he was gone anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So his tenure wouldn't have changed, or in the thought process, people just kind of gloss over Mike. They go literally from Bo to Scott, and obviously to Matt Rule. So the tie is also interesting. I think when you have the lead and you get tied, the psyche around it, because you got to think. I was on the side of, Missouri. We went down to Missouri, and we didn't have overtime. That would have ended up being a tie. It would have been a benchmark game for Coach Smith down there.
Yeah.
Corby Jones is still, he's a lawyer, but he's still breaking bread off of that. He played the game of his life, and not taking anything away from him. He was a great college player. And so I know what it's like having to really dig yourself out of the hole and get back to it and then tie. And then, all right, now we are able to use the momentum to win it, and have a fourth down stop. Versus if you have the lead like we did, in those times, and you let somebody come back and tie you, and how you finish it. And that's the hardest thing to do it. Now it changes, right? I just talked about Mike Riley. It really wouldn't have changed. It would have brought up Scott's win and loss percentage, so he wouldn't be thought of as, a hometown kid, a national championship quarterback, had some stuff, when in college that, was well documented off the field, comes here and he has the worst win-loss percentage ever. That last part wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Right? On the flip side, the Missouri coach, even though obviously Pinkel?
Yeah, Gary Pinkel
came in and did a really great job after that. His tenure while he was there for that would be his signature win.
Yeah.
Even if we went on to continue to go to, we probably would have still got into the national championship game because we were able to play in the Big 12 championship. And even if when we beat Tennessee again, he still has that as a feather in his cap. And so the ties work I think they work better for the teams that are trying to level up or tie a more significant team. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it means more. We didn't lose. We were right there. We could have won.
You can lie to yourself about everything.
Oh, for sure. But for the top team, then it's, okay, we avoided disaster, but we also didn't take care of business.
Yeah.
It should have been a win. It could have been a win. And not to sell the underdog team short by any means. But no, I think you're spot on with that. I do want to ask you this then, Jay. I have my own opinion. Is the bigger issue for Nebraska football being bad in overtime, or the fact that so many of these games have gotten overtime to begin with?
I think a little bit of both. I think when you have a lead in you're playing not to lose. Those were in some of those situations. But then also I think the inability at times when you get into overtime, not having a good, game plan and recalibrating. And so I think it's a little bit of both. And if it was just one, I think it would have been remedied, a lot earlier. I think when you get into overtime, and I don't think enough people practice for overtime. I mean, the one thing I will tell you about, I guess the 90s is that I was just talking to Coach Samuel about this today, is like we practiced for 5 quarters. So we were very comfortable in those situations. I don't think anybody does that. They just do it just to get through practice. So I think,
and y'all really didn't need it, but you were ready for it.
We were ready for it, and we welcomed it. So the harder the game, the better we played. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think when you lose a lead and get to overtime, unless somebody's really, making some great plays, and you get kind of like those plays that you had, for instance, remember when we beat the brakes off of Colorado a couple years ago? Well, they were driving, they're running back, we had the ball, right? And then we essentially threw an interception. It went off his chest, and then Ramir caught it and scored.
Yeah.
Those plays, that's how you get into overtime. Now, obviously, we end up winning.
Yeah.
Versus if you have the lead and you don't manage the clock right, or like the Nebraska when Scott was here against Northwestern. Yep. You pretty much played man-to-man the whole time, and then Northwestern didn't have any timeouts, so you didn't think about playing zone to really encapsulate and keep it in front of you, and then, kind of lean on them and all that, then they don't score. Those are things that I think are probably, in my opinion, looked at worse. Those are the ones versus, when you get in overtime and somebody makes a great play. I mean, if you look at, the Giants against the Patriots, it wasn't in overtime, but Plaxico Burress or the David Tyree catch.
Yeah.
Then they those are two legendary. First of all, David Tyree catch is something that would never happen again because Harrison had great coverage and was trying to rip out of the ball. But I think Nebraska's biggest problem was probably how you got to overtime. I would say that.
Well, it's just been so interesting as I was going through putting this list together that it seems like, it's decided on the field, right? It's not decided by momentum. It's decided by who makes the next play in front of them.
Yeah.
But even when Nebraska has had the momentum, right, to come back, they should be feeling good about it. It seems like the fourth quarter ends, you get the tie, and then
that's it.
It's a reset.
We're done. We're done. Yeah.
And even the flip side, Nebraska's giving up the comeback. Hey, here's the chance to reset, catch your breath, get back to what you were doing for the first 50 minutes of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that either. It hasn't been a good break for them, in terms of the deep breath and the reset, but it also hasn't been hey, we got this, we just get an extra TV timeout to move on and keep playing. It's like everything shifts for that team. And when you just look at the games that have gone to overtime, the 8 of them since 2015, I would have thought it would have been pretty much all Nebraska letting a lead slip. But, 3 times Nebraska's been the team to make the comeback. 5 times Nebraska's been the team to allow the comeback. Really not that out of the ordinary. That's about a 50-50 split, which you would think it would be. The problem is how many games Nebraska could have won or had, an opportunity to go to overtime and never got there for. I mean, this is since last year. You think about Nebraska had a fourth quarter lead over USC. Think about 2024, Illinois, Ohio State, and Iowa. Nebraska had fourth quarter leads. 2023, Minnesota, Michigan State, Maryland, Iowa. And then all the way through the Frost tenure we mentioned, and then even Riley, 2017, Northern Illinois. Nebraska had a fourth quarter lead.
Yeah.
Just had to hold on.
Ability to close.
Yeah, 2015, BYU, the Hail Mary. Illinois, you throw the incomplete pass instead of running it on the road in Champaign. And then Wisconsin, you go up with a couple minutes to go on the Andy Janovich run, and you let Wisconsin do just enough to drive down and get into field goal range. I mean, there's probably 20 games in that list that Nebraska just had to hold on, that they let slip in every single one of those.
Learning how to win is what Matt Rule had talked about. I mean, because he was obviously well aware of this. I mean, the data is out there, right? And so, it was speed bumps his first year. They had to learn how to close and do that. But I think, what you saw on the field is a byproduct of the powers that be. It didn't settle down. I mean, there is a direct correlation. I used to not think that, but it is. And so, learning how to win in that, and also the call that there used to be the 4 minutes, it's really, 6 minutes before in the halftime or whatever you want, 6 minutes after, and then obviously closing the game. It's like, a bunch of 2 or 3 segmented pieces in a game. That's what really hurt Nebraska. Making the timely tackle, understanding your leverage, understanding that the opponent has one timeout, so we have to gang tackle, keep them inbound, make them burn that timeout. We have to run 3 plays. The game's over, right? That's how you not only protect the lead. Everybody's thinking like you just protecting the lead or just get to the house. That's called playing winning football.
Yeah,
playing smart football and all that type of stuff. So then the untimely penalties and all that stuff is something that Matt Rule knows and crew has been trying to bleed out of our program. And then because it's one of those things. Once it kind of gets in your veins, you got to be really strategic about it and how you get out of it.
We've got a bunch of texts and comments on YouTube to a very similar point here before we go to break. It just comes down to the red zone. That's how you get better. And, the 4-minute drill, like you're saying, obviously that's a huge part of it. I can't argue against that. But what if you get one more first down with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and not let it come down to that?
The cause and effect is huge. The red zone is key. Red zone is more conceptual, but also you got to have players. But you got to have the continuity that's already going on to set up your red zone offense. But you're 100% right. What affects you at the end of the game is generally set up earlier in the game. It's the cause and effect. And that's something that we've talked about on Old School a ton that just gets glossed over. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because if you handle your business early, you don't have to worry late. You worry late because you didn't handle your business early. And you giving up first downs or giving up long drives in this the second and third quarter, that is killing you in the fourth quarter because it's a field possession issue right then.
There's been some really interesting studies done on momentum. Is it real or not? And really what people have found is that there's this, what they call rubber banding effect. I mean, think about a rubber band. You stretch it out, that's getting up big or getting down big. But when you let the rubber band go, it can only go so far before it either snaps and it's a blowout and it's over, or you let go of the rubber band, it snaps back together and it returns to its natural state there in the middle. So teams do typically play worse when they're up with a big lead. Teams typically play better when they're down, right? They're going to cut in, and most games will end up within 20 points as opposed to outside of 25 points or whatever that range would be. But for Nebraska to be unable to limit some of those runs, you're up 3 possessions, you get down to a 1 possession lead, to not be able to re-extend that even with a field goal, to put it back to 2 possessions. That's another sort of, cog in the machine where you just need one drive. One first down, and Nebraska hasn't been able to get it. So.
Yeah. We'll go to break, come back. We'll give a little quick thoughts on it before we get to Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, and Tim Hardaway, senior. Is he doing his kid dirty or not?
He's a wild boy on that microphone.
Let's go ahead and talk about that. I think it's pretty funny. We'll be back to wrap up Hour 1.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
Bonzal Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonzal Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonzal Pool and Spa, every day made better.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in to Old School. Brief segment, wrapping up hour one of the show. Appreciate everyone's involvement and engagement with the conversation there to lead off the show. Tim Hardaway Sr., not Tim Hardaway Jr., but Tim Hardaway Jr. having signed with the Miami Heat, his father's franchise, essentially not the only one, but contemplated asking Dad if he could wear his number 10 that's up in the rafters there down in Miami. Hardaway Sr. Goes on 104.3 FM in Miami and says, "My legacy is my legacy. Even though he likes to wear number 10, that is not coming down from the rafters." Right move, wrong move, somewhere in between for Senior to tell Junior, nah, son.
Yeah, that's cold-blooded. Most dads are like, yeah, wear my number, right?
I would think.
I'm pretty sure he's worried about that. All right, well, since you unretired it, then if you know Tim Hardaway, that's right on point. I'm a little surprised by it, though. And I don't know the dynamics of the relationship, though. Yeah, I am a little surprised by it, though.
I feel like
he's hard-nosed, though.
Apparently. And I can respect that to a point. Like, no, this is what you're chasing. You know, you don't get my number.
Make your own path. But I think he's worn 10 at different times.
Pretty much his entire career, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can look this up real quick, but
maybe he wants to have one up with him, because I got a feeling that Tim Hardaway Sr. thinks he can still beat Junior.
Would not shock me if he thinks that.
Yeah.
So Tim Hardaway Jr. wore number 5 with the Knicks, wore number 10 with the Hawks, wore number 3 when he went back to the Knicks, wore 11 and then 10 with the Mavs, wore number 8 for the Pistons, and then just got done wearing number 10 for the Nuggets. And Dad says, nope, that's my number. And Senior's pretty clearly had the better career, better player.
Oh, he was cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the crossovers, everybody thinks it's Allen Iverson. No, it's Tim Hardaway.
The UTEP two-step.
Yeah. And he was cold-blooded, man, and ruthless, too.
Over 15,000 points, 7,000 assists over 13 NBA seasons. Number retired in Miami in 2009. He made the playoffs every year. He was there, 5-time NBA All-Star, back-to-back top 10 MVP finishes, and 9 NBA playoff appearances. So,
yeah. He's a real. I mean,
he could play.
Yeah, he definitely could play. He always tells the young guys or the younger generations, he's like, "I kick you know what?" When he's up there on the round tables, and he starts going off on cats.
Eric, what would Chuck say, Jay?
Well, if I was a running back, I know I changed my number to 44 in college.
Mm-hmm.
After wearing 56.
But you weren't playing his position.
I wasn't playing his position. I don't know what my dad would say. My dad still tells me I couldn't tackle him. So I think my dad might say the same thing. Do your own number.
8985. I think it's a bleep move. There's no way I would ever deny my child, even any family or family friend, if they wanted to wear the same number as me. But with my athleticism, that's not a problem I'll ever have, though.
I think that's the old school mentality. Make your own path.
Mm-hmm.
So I can respect it, but that's right on brand with Tim Hardaway Sr.
If it makes sense in the context of their relationship, who am I to criticize it? It's just funny for this side of things.
Hey, Thanksgiving dinner would be just a little bit different.
Right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner is a little bit different when you go to Myers Cork and Bottle.
That's right.
We're ways away from Thanksgiving, but Jay, here's a nice cold drink to make your day start headed the right direction. Took till 4 o'clock, but that's right. Thirsty Thursday, Myers Cork and Bottle. Kevin Meyer in the house next.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild will be open on the 4th of July, serving up our award-winning barbecue. Pick up a slab of slow-smoked ribs and a family pack on the way to your celebration. They come loaded with your choice of meats and sides, complete with buns and our famous Hog Wild sauce. Order online at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Bonsall Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonsall Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Well, that's pretty good.
Little 4th of July pop. How about this one?
Sounds great. How's it going, Kevin?
Gents, I'm doing just fine. Happy almost 4th of July to you both.
Likewise. How much pop and fizz is there on the fireworks front down where the frog farm is?
Well, our neighborhood's quiet, thankfully. Although the neighbors down the road a mile, just kind of go crazy. It's a bunch of my son's friends, and they pitch in money all year long to do this. And I'm like, I'm not sure how you boys have firework money in this economy, but they like to get after it, and they do some, let's just say, some nefarious activities with those. So sometimes I like to watch. Sometimes I'll stay a mile down the road.
Nefarious is fine. Illegal is not. Is there a difference?
I want to say they're tiptoeing the line.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. Yes.
Fair enough. Speaking of sons, Kevin, Jay and I were talking about Tim Hardaway Sr. not allowing Tim Hardaway Jr. to wear his number 10 jersey in Miami, where Sr. had his uniform retired.
In some ways, I kind of like it. In some ways, I kind of don't. It's kind of funny because, I mean, you want, as a father, you want to pave the way for your son, but you also want him to make his own way, right? So what's the old saying? You can pave the road for your kid or prepare your kid for the road. And so ultimately, I think that's his dad way of saying, I've already prepared you for the road. Now it's time for you to, put the foot on the gas and do your own thing. You don't need my number. You don't need to follow in my footsteps. You're at this stage in life. You're playing in the NBA. You make your own way now. I can respect that too. So
the text from 8985 was, there's no way I would ever deny my child, even any family or family friend, if they wanted to wear the same number as me. And he says, look at it this way. He gave him the same name. Why can't he wear the same number?
That's a good point. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I sort of get it, especially like Jay was saying, like he's a bit of a hardo, and played that way. And I imagine he's a bit of a hardo as a dad. And, that's just the way he is.
Well, Jay, as a pro athlete, can you talk a little bit about what your career means to you? Whatever you got accomplished, right? That's your name. You did it for, it was a job, you provided for your family and whatnot. But is there any element of, no, these are my accomplishments, not yours?
Yeah, especially when you got a famous dad. I mean, obviously you spend your whole life fighting against, the unknown of a family. It's almost like the LeBron and Jordan thing. I mean, you got to think, I spent my whole life, every article, the son of Chuck Foreman, so no matter what I did, until I got to Nebraska and started to establish myself, and then obviously went to the NFL or whatever. Then it was kind of mentioned, still son of Chuck Foreman, but in a different light. So in one state, he's Jay Foreman's dad. 49 other ones, son of Chuck. It's Chuck's son. Even when we went back to Miami for his Ring of Fame thing, hey man, this is Jay. He played in the NFL. It's Chuck's son. But that's cool. But that's what probably Tim's. I mean, that's why I'm surprised. I'm sure they had this conversation, between those two. I'm surprised that he do it because he's a veteran in the, in the NBA versus when he just came into the league.
I will forever be known as Ken Meyer's son, and there's just no way around it. And as a kid, we couldn't even go out to dinner because then my dad would spend 70% of the time being, talking to people and trying to, be charming and whatever else. And I wanted to go, Dad, shut up, sit down and eat.
ABC always be closing. I mean, that's the same thing with my dad. When we go out to eat, man, it was like, dang. It was like a family dinner. It'd just be me and him or just us, it'd be everybody come over. And I mean, still even to this day. So it's just, I guess it's just part of it.
It's not an easy shadow. I think ultimately you want to make your own shadow and not be cast in someone else's. So if that's who they are, then that's who they are.
Let me ask you this, Kevin, and then we'll get in obviously to the libations because I'm back in full effect. I need this today. 2 questions. Did you ever subconsciously or indirectly have any animosity towards your dad just because of that?
Oh, not subconsciously at all. 100% conscious.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you still loved him, but you was just looking at him like, you him an effort.
Yeah. Well, and I know the real you.
Yeah.
Family first, Pop.
Yeah.
But it wasn't subconscious at all. It was 100% top of mind, conscious. I'm still wearing that on my sleeve sometimes. Jay, I need some therapy after this.
Let me ask you the second question.
That's what the drink is for.
Let me ask you the second question. I had ran into a young man. I won't name any names, but his dad is pretty prominent in the baseball world. right? Now, he didn't play baseball, but now he's done playing the sport he wanted to play, and then now he's going to get into business. And he was talking to me about it, and I said, hey, man, look, it's not about what you know in this world, it's who you know. Don't just go opposite. Like, don't stiff arm any either connection or help that you can get from your dad for the, I guess the badge,
spite.
out of spite, or the badge that I did it. I said, learn, take some advantage. Nepotism is here. It's never going anywhere.
You can't change it.
It's like if I own the company and you guys need a job, I don't care if you qualify or not. You guys are getting hired, right? And we're going to figure out, get you qualified after that. What's your thoughts on that?
It's never been wrong to use your resources.
Right.
That's
mean, what I told
him. The world is, especially the business world, is cutthroat. It is hard enough to make a buck as it is. And when you do make a buck, the government takes it. And so whatever resources you can lean on, whether they're your resources, whether they're your father's resources, a coach's resource, a teammate's resource, a college buddy, doesn't matter what it is, exercise your resources to the full extent. And it's not only advantageous, but I think it's almost necessary in success.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to cast those aside out of spite because you're trying to be your own man and whatever else.
Yeah.
I think you need to check your ego at that point and like say, utilize whatever resources you can.
There you go.
I'll raise a glass to that. Which one are you raising first?
Let's do the wine first. Simply for the fact that the beer is going to be kind of fruity. And so I think that might not set up the wine per se. So trying to do a 4th of July theme. This wine is out of Oregon. It's called Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. It's the closest thing I could get to fireworks and 4th of July. And it's a red blend. It has some Syrah in it. It has some Merlot in it. It also uniquely has some Pinot Noir in it, which usually is not a very good blending grape. And the reason being is that it just sort of takes on the characteristics of what it's blended with. But it is also the flagship grape of Oregon. And so, I think there's a reason why they call it Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, because they're close enough. And so it's sort of an American adaptation of the wines of the French Rhone Valley. With a little bit of spin on it, and that's why they call it that, because it's close enough, a reasonable facsimile, if you will.
I will indeed. This is that's a grilling wine. Oh yeah, that's 4th of July. It wasn't just close enough. I think the horseshoe hit the pole, grenade landed, nailed it.
That's a ringer in my book. Yeah,
I like this, man, with a nice juicy ribeye.
It's smooth.
Yeah,
it's got that nice sort of darker fruit to it.
This is the type of wine that really make me think once I drank about half a bottle, I think I can start philosophizing now. I get a lot smarter.
we can sit around Jay's garage.
Yeah, we can get awful sophisticated.
We can get
right?
deep.
Yeah,
we can
get way deep. Yeah. We don't need any mushrooms. We need this.
You got to walk Kevin through your man cave idea that we were laying out to start the show.
Kevin, I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to since this is Therapy Thursday today.
All right, I'm in.
You ever had a day where you had this stuff planned and you were looking forward to doing something, and then somebody
events conspired against you,
just took a dump on it?
Just
I'm hot as a hornet's nest now.
Shoots you in the ass.
Yeah, so that's one of those days. But I was saying today is a day. You ever go to Home Depot or up there on what is it, the tractor shop one?
Yeah, Tractor Supply.
Yeah. And
yes, it's my favorite store.
But the place next to it has all those pre-made mini houses or sheds.
Right.
So my idea is get one of those, a big one.
Sure.
And put 3 TVs in there, 3 chairs, everybody can be comfortable. I don't know if you call it a convection system, or you can kind of get the air to flow out for what I'm saying.
Convection.
Yeah. The bathroom. And
maybe a golf sim.
Now that'd be
too much.
That might be too. I'd have a lock code on there, watch the games, maybe add on a little podcast studio there. That's where I go to get. I don't drink coffee, but I'd have my tea, and then I'd have my herbs in the morning. That's how I start a little wakey bakey. All dark. No, you know what I'm saying?
The J Shack.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
We got to come up with a better name though than a J Shack.
Yeah, we can't call it the Boom Boom Room.
No.
Did you ever see this? Did you ever see that show with?
Spell my wine. Come on, man.
You ever see that show with Snoop Dogg when he had his like reality show?
I think I caught.
Remember when he used to get in trouble when he'd go to the garage and eat his fried chicken? Remember he was obviously he had the munchies.
That's Ping in the Towers. Yeah. Foreman's Fortress. How about that?
That sounds like the double F.
There we go.
And then we could put a fluorescent light out there too.
Would it be like a speakeasy where you know if someone's in there or not?
Yeah, well, you have to have the code and you have to have the knock.
Yeah, I can picture you as one of the bouncers that's the little like slider at eye height.
Oh
yeah.
Password.
Identify yourself.
Yeah. Who dis?
Yeah.
Foreman's Fortress. I like
that.
Look at that. The ideas are flowing. All right, that's a really solid wine. Part of your summer wine sale potentially.
Indeed. So, I mean, I guess I should talk about that. So it's our summer wine sale. We call it our 10, 15, 20 sale. So you can mix and match any 3 wines in the shop, save 10%. Mix and match any 6 wines, save 15%. That's like buying 5 and getting 1 free. And then mix and match a dozen and save 20%. And so it's pretty aggressive pricing at 20%. You're almost basically buying the wines at wholesale. But we always like to sort of sandwich the 4th of July in our summer wine sale and just make it simple. So that you don't have to, is this wine on sale? This wine's not, et cetera. It's all wines that are regularly priced, mix and match, 10, 15, 20. The more you buy, the more you save.
Way to find that is Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South. Let's get our neon update. All working? You can be lit up like the 4th of July?
We are still Ayers Cork and Bottle right now. And it's the ire of my existence at this point. So yeah, the M is still out. They're having to rebuild the M from scratch. And I don't know if you know this, but neon is like sort of an ancient art. There's like one guy in town that knows how to do it.
Really?
Still. Yeah.
Huh.
And so whenever we have problems and they got to rebuild it, it's like glass blowing almost, but you got to have a special machine. If their machine goes down, it takes a while to fix. So
and neon relates to like the gas, right? Not just the color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like hard to find like helium, or is it more?
It's not the
that?
gas itself. It's the glass tubing.
Gotcha.
And they have to melt it and bend it and make it from scratch. And it just doesn't exist anymore like it used to. Everything's gone LED. And so I got a quote to move it to LED. And let's just say I'd have to sell a lot more wine in order to make that happen. So we're keeping the neon alive for now. But right now, yes, we are Ayers Cork and Bottle without the M.
All right. Ayers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South. Same great service, same great product.
Absolutely.
Just one letter down.
Just one letter down. So, stop in and help us rebuild the M. We should do a campaign.
There we go. All right. Fruity beer. What we working with here?
Okay. So, as we all know, Zipline is no longer. And basically, we have a special section in the store that we call Nebraska. And it's all Nebraska brews. And there's all kinds of research that says in a shop like mine or any grocery store or whatnot, the 2 cooler doors on the right-hand side are the most frequented, the most visible, the best spot for making and selling clients, right? And so it was important to us to make that all local, put the local breweries in the best spot. And with the exit of Zipline, it was really important to me to maintain that those cooler doors stay with local products. So we brought in a little bit of Bottle Rocket out of Seward, which is what we're having today. We brought in some Jukes Ale Works out of Elkhorn, which we had last week.
Yep.
And then we also brought in some First Street Brewing out of Hastings to fill those Zipline spots. And so it's, like I said, it's really important to me that those spots remain local, remain Nebraska, remain homegrown people products. And so this one is sticking with the 4th of July theme, out of Seward, Nebraska. It is Blueberry Bomb. It's an American wheat ale with blueberry. And this is out of Bottle Rocket Brewing, which obviously has a 4th of July theme to it. So give that a taste and let me know what you think.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm
with it. Mm-hmm.
You can definitely taste the blueberry.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sweet. But wheat beers generally are a little bit sweet anyway.
Yeah, it's not overbearing, though.
No, it's not over the top. You see a lot of people put an orange in their Blue Moon.
Yeah.
People put a lime or a lemon in their Boulevard Wheat. This is just sort of a twist on that where they just add a little bit of blueberry.
Maybe my palate's completely jacked up. I almost get some like warm fall spices from it.
Warm fall spices. Yeah, maybe some like baking spices, like almost like blueberry pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think we're getting there.
I think, that would make sense. Or maybe even like, a lot of times when they make the crust, they'll put in like a little bit of cinnamon in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could just be that sort of like transitive property happening in your brain. But I can dig that. I can taste that.
I'm with it. This is good. I
like it.
Yeah. Sweet enough that you get the blueberry, but I don't think it's overpowering the beer necessarily.
Beer too.
Yeah, not cloying. And I really like blueberry. I really like blueberry pie, and I like beer. So, why not?
You came to the right can.
We could, have this in Foreman's Fortress. That would put it on tap. That's what we need. We need a tap system in there.
Yeah, we need our listeners. We need to get this built.
We could do that.
You get a one-time access code.
The kicker is we got to figure out some plumbing for you because you need to have a bathroom in there. You don't want to have to go back in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about that as well in the first segment. Your top 3 pies.
Top 3 pies. Wow.
Both of you. Top 3 pies.
I would say my mother's pecan pie with that gooey stuff in the middle. And as a kid, I would have said no way on pecan pie. As an adult, love it. So my mother's pecan pie, my former stepmother's cherry pie with her homegrown cherries from their house.
Nice.
That was she probably makes the overall best crust, nice and flaky, buttery. It's bad for you. What would be my third favorite? Gosh, do I go lemon meringue?
It's up to you, Kevin. It's your list.
Lemon meringue or French silk?
Okay.
With the chocolate and the whipped cream and the graham cracker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My grandpa was a big lemon meringue guy, and so it became the traditional lemon meringue pie. You might think, Easter, it's bright, it's fresh, it's springy, but no, we every Thanksgiving had a traditional lemon meringue pie.
I got to throw key lime in there too. We'll put that in the.
They did a top 5.
We'll do a top 3A and 3B.
Fair enough.
A good key lime pie. Oh, yeah.
There you go, Jay.
I don't eat pies.
My man.
I don't at all. I don't eat like anything like that. It's generally like carrot cake.
I'm with it. See, I'm not a big pies guy either. So my top 3 pies are.
I don't seek it out, but like once a year I will. Yeah, Thanksgiving.
I like pumpkin pie. Generally, I grew up on that. Apple pie. One of my favorites was when you used to get them from. Used to get them from PDQ. They'd come in like that green and white package. You buy them at the little, those.
The little rectangle ones.
Yeah,
came in the plastic.
Yeah. Or you get it from McDonald's when McDonald's had them.
You had to be careful with those because they'll burn your face.
Yeah, I know.
Remember how hot those were?
Yeah, so those apple pies.
Yeah,
those are all that I've ever had.
Eric wants to know how you can leave out apple. Kevin, what is it about apple pie that doesn't elevate onto your list?
I like apple pie too. I just, you put me on the spot. I wasn't in pie mode. So Eric, I have nothing against apple pie. I love a good homemade apple pie.
I think Eric's coming from the Chevrolet commercial. What's more American than baseball and apple pie?
Apple pie is pretty American. It's the 4th of July. Yeah, I just omitted it, but I was put on the spot and I'm not a very quick thinker. So apologies, Eric. Yes, apple pie makes the list. The top 5. There we go. Now we got a top 5. We'll call it good. Apple's on there.
Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. We'll take your list of your top 3 or top 5 favorite pies throughout break. We might get to that here in the next segment. For me, though, it's oatmeal cream pies are a clear number 1.
The little Debbie thing?
Oh, yeah. I can. I can smash
that's my definitely number 1.
I'm a sucker for those things.
Buy a box of those as a kid for 99 cents. They were all 99 cents.
A box for 99 cents?
It was. They couldn't even put a price. Couldn't even put it on a price tag or put a price tag on it. It was already on the box that it was going to be 99 cents. Wow. That and then the Star Crunch. Remember the Star Crunch?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I used to make myself sick on that stuff.
Cosmic brownies.
Say that again.
Cosmic brownies, zebra cakes, the Swiss rolls.
Swiss rolls were good. Mm-hmm. The zebra cakes were probably the lowest on my list.
Okay.
But I would get medieval on those as a kid.
Oatmeal cream pies are absolutely my jam. Number 2 for me is shepherd's pie. Big shepherd's pie guy.
Okay.
My wife makes a really good one. So and I can stop the list.
It's more of a meal than
but
Yeah.
it has pie in the name, so
the chicken pot pie, I mean,
that's number 3.
Now,
Found it.
what about a quiche? Like a
right,
a little bacon, some cheese, some eggs. Why not?
I'm a spinach and quiche too.
Yeah, sure.
I don't mind spinach in my quiche.
Yeah.
So.
Quiche is a weird word. We could get into that
Quickie.
Since we're in therapy.
Well, why do you need to go to therapy for the word quiche, Kevin?
Well, I don't know. There are certain words that sort of ping the towers where you're like, that's kind of a weird word. Quiche.
Mm-hmm.
It's like capsule. Capsule is a weird word.
Capsule.
Yeah. Yeah. Just one of those words that you just go, that's weird.
An odd one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Summer wine sale. Irish Cork and Bottle. My apologies. 13th and South.
We're still Myers, but we're mired without the M right now. So,
but on that note, Kevin, happy 4th of July to you and your family. Have a great weekend. And rumor has it we won't see you for a couple weeks. So safe travels.
I will. Let's see. No, I'll see you next week.
You will. Okay.
Yes, and then after that. Yep.
Excellent.
So, thank you. Happy 4th, everybody. Appreciate it.
We'll be back. More of Old School after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate again. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios at 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish, no mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering, with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities available for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off 14th and Pine Lake Road.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Bonsall Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonsall Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high near 91. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, a low around 74. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms early. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot, a high near 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your friends at Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln would like to take this time to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
That's right. Welcome back in to Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. Show's halfway gone by. You can keep being a part of the show by texting 402-464-5685. We'll jump around a little bit here, Jake. We got this question from D-Man back in the first hour. It says, what's worse, the ties in college football or that horrible free throw thing they're attempting in Summer League for the NBA this year? Not sure if you saw that, but the proposal from the NBA is something they've been doing in the G League already. It's the one free throw rule. When free throws are awarded, one free throw worth 1, 2, or 3 points will be attempted. Standard NBA free throw rules will apply in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and during overtime. So 2-shot foul, you get 2 shots. 3-shot foul, you get 3, whatever. And the G League has used this rule dating back to the 1920 season to improve game flow, is what the NBA is saying. So outside of the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime, it would be one free throw for all the marbles. Good change, bad change, good idea, bad idea.
I don't like that idea. You know, they do that in club basketball and when you're in AAU or whatever. So, you know, if it's, then you get 2 free throws if it's a foul on the 3-pointer and 1 if it's 2. I don't like that. If you're at the free throw line, I want you to make them. So I think between the ties and that one, I just think the tie is stupid. So I think I'd have to deal with it. You know, I've lived in that world before.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with 2 to make 1 for those points, right? If you want to speed the games up and eliminate downtime, if it's a 2-shot foul, you make the first one. Okay, you get both points. I'm okay with that. I don't love it. I still think free throws, there's a legitimate skill and an art to them, right? It can be the one hole in a player's game. When you think about like the Nick Anderson thing in the playoffs, you think about, you know, Hack-a-Shaq or Hack-a-Mitchell Robinson, like we've seen in recent years. For 3-shot fouls, fouled on a 3-pointer, I don't hate the idea of two.
Yeah.
You know, if you make the first two, then okay, you get essentially extra credit. You don't have to shoot the third one. So be it, if you go 1 for 3, you only get the 1 point. If you go 2 for 3, you get all 3 points. But D-Man followed up with that and said, in the current proposal, my main question is, does it make sense to just foul on a 3-point attempt if it isn't a great 3-point shooter taking the shot? I feel like more fouls will occur. And I still just don't think that that's how the math of the situation would play out. Because let's say, an okay NBA 3-point shooter is probably, 30 to 35%. Let's say somewhere in that range, depending on volume, role, whatever. The elite guys are going to be, 38 plus, upwards of 40%. But most of the guys in the NBA, I would wager, are 70% free throw shooters.
Yeah, that's true.
So essentially, 2 shots at 70%, for 3 points is a much worse proposition for the defense than 1 shot at 40%. And think about this too. You're thinking about a foul. That's likely a contested 3. Pretty much everyone's numbers in the long run go down when a shot is contested as opposed to open. Sure, you'll have years where you shoot the cover off the ball contested, miss your open ones. But in the long run, you're often better off obviously shooting uncontested or lightly contested as opposed to, hey, that might have been a foul. And so I think, no, it wouldn't necessarily sway the numbers to just commit a foul every time an iffy 3-point shooter shoots one, because you're giving them 2 cracks, where they'll shoot, 7 out of 10 to get the same 3 points as opposed to a pretty low percentage contested look from further away under more duress.
Yeah. I guess if it's something that they try, I don't understand. I don't even view that the NBA games are long, and so I think the product has to be better. And I don't think the length of the game is going to really, change much, by doing so. And plus they're the best of the best. But
yeah,
I think it's also part of the game that is traditional. Like, why try to take away time at the free throw line when this game is already at a high enough pace? So it's actually to kind of make it, slow it down. So it'd be counterproductive. You're trying to play, you're trying to be on and off in a record time. Are you starting to, you're going to win awards or get points for playing less time? So I think I understand why you're doing it. I don't like it. I don't think it adds anything to make the game better. I think the nuances and fundamentals are so bad that's what makes it worse. I don't think, because I think you essentially would give more possessions. So all the stuff that people are complaining about, that you're essentially, either layup or dunk or shooting a 3, they'll get 5 or 6 more chances at it.
Well, and especially if pace of play and up and downs and, side to side is more of an issue, you cut out at least half the downtime, with the free throw line by only giving 1 attempt.
Right. And so you're going to get more of what you're complaining about, or what that's not, I guess, for the betterment of the game. So I guess, the summertime is a silly time for like the NBA and obviously to try stuff and take their data. NFL's done it. NHL's done it with their 3-on-3 and overtime for, a little while. I saw one of the first games when the Maple Leafs in Detroit played it, and it looked odd. I think, and everybody's worried about, pace of play. You see it in golf. They got shot clocks now for golfers. They got pitch clocks now for pitchers. So it's understandable, but I don't think for basketball, with the pace that it's already playing, which is amped up probably by 6 times than when, I was watching NBA a lot, I don't think it's going to make it any better.
I'm with you on that. Is the new Pac-12 better than no Pac-12? The roster for the new Pac-12: Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Gonzaga, Oregon State, San Diego State, Texas State, Utah State, and Washington State. How seriously are we taking this new Pac-12 as a conference?
Well, I think right now it's not very serious, but I don't think it'd ever be better than the old Pac-12, because that last year the Pac-12 was really, really good. They went out with a bang, but I think it'll be competitive. I think the travel is going to be a little bit different, for some teams, but I like that they're trying to do something. I think the Pac-12 name I hate that it went away, and I think, for those teams to be involved in a conference, I think is the betterment for them, and ultimately the betterment for college football. I think that, you got to start somewhere. I remember back in the day, when they had the not the WAC, but whatever the
Well, the Mountain West and the WAC and the Southwest.
Texas was in the Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest.
Yeah.
There's them in Arkansas and,
that was
Rice
and that was kind
whatever.
of like a jacked up league. And then obviously Texas came out on top, and Arkansas is trying to like still tread water. So I think it can happen, but it might encourage one of the big dogs to get tired and then go back there and try to be dominant. If they're able to leave the conference. I don't know how long you're locked in. Money wise, you're not going to leave one.
Right.
But if somehow, some way they can secure some sort of TV contract with them, and then you could kind of weigh the travel and be locked in, and maybe you get a bigger piece of the pie. You could maybe persuade a lower level team to come back in there and be like the belle of the ball in that conference.
I just wonder who the Pac-12 thinks it's fooling at this point, because it's a glorified Mountain West. I mean, you took the worst of the Pac-12 with some of the best of the Mountain West. Now, the Pac-12, the Pac name has, some prestige behind it, Conference of Champions, Bill Walton and all that. But all those teams are gone. Yeah. All the teams that built the Conference of Champions are gone. And so I can understand, from a self-preservation standpoint, we want to keep the branding, keep the legacy going, even if it doesn't look exactly the same, and we'll make the best of it. I get for Oregon State and Washington State, the biggest schools, the biggest name schools, really outside of, Gonzaga men's basketball, and maybe Boise State football. Oregon State and Washington State having been power conference members, like, hey, this is our chance. We can lead it. We're not going to be at the bottom. We're not going to be the afterthought. We are the Pac-12 now. We're the flagship members. But are you really? I don't think that the name Pac-12 is fooling any TV executives or whatever.
No, that's what I was about to say. Who are you going to go pitch this league to?
CBS Sports Net.
Yeah.
Not even CBS.
But you know what? If they're able to generate, I think the smartest move they made is formulating a league. So when they do, propose or make a proposal to the powers that be, at least they have that, and it is a sellable product. Not on like ESPN1 or ESPN or ESPN2.
Yeah.
Now you might have to play on some odd times, but that money that you would be able to bring in on top of what you already have will help out all those schools. So sometimes you got to devil in the mud to level up.
Westy says the late night Pac-12 games used to be absolutely legendary. They probably won't hit the same. It's a group of 5 school with a power conference name. Absolutely not the same. I'd rather have no Pac-12.
They're gonna have to adopt a style of play for that league for it to be appealing, like MAC action, late night with Pac-12, high points, high excitement. That you're gonna have to.
Do you think this league has as good, better, or worse of a chance of joining the playoff than, say, the American champion or the Sun Belt champion? To be the highest ranked group of 16.
Well, they have Boise. That's kind of like, that gives you an advantage over those other teams. Top to bottom, I would say the other ones. It's going to be rough sledding for the first few years for this league. And if I'm Boise, or if I'm those teams that have kind of been on to bigger places, obviously Boise very recently,
right?
I have to essablish dominance right now, because that sets you up for the future. Because you got to think everybody else that's below you and there's the teams that are below you, they're going to level up quicker. They're going to lessen that gap, and so you got to make sure that you're at the top of the list.
I think that's fair. All right, let's go to break. We'll wrap up hour 2 of Old School. Get you set for the final hour of a Thursday show right after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your lake and forecast for today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high near 91. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, a low around 74. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms early. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot, a high near 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bonzal Pool and Spa is turning 75, and you're getting the presents. Right now, we're counting down to our Big Diamond Anniversary Bash on July 11th with massive weekly doorbuster sales. Stop in every Monday for 75% off your favorite premium BioGuard water care products. Plus, every $75 you spend Starting today enters you to win a $7,500 premium in-home sauna. Get your pool ready for summer and start winning today at Bonsall Pool and Spa, 33rd and Nebraska Parkway in Lincoln. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Your friends with Gordon Law in Lincoln remind you, please support the local blood bank and hospitals in our community. By giving blood, you're not only protecting yourself, but your family, members of your community, and your coworkers in need. New donors are always needed to replace those who are no longer eligible to give blood. Be a lifesaver. Go online, schedule an appointment to give blood today, and help save a life. This message sponsored by Gordon Law here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America healthy and strong.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering, with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities available for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off 14th and Pine Lake Road.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, you know specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Big thanks to Schwezo Construction for helping sponsor the show. At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at Schwezo.com. 40-plus years strong in business, Schwezo Construction. Team USA beats Bosnia and Herzegovina yesterday. So 2 for the price of 1 there. The one team, of course, with the one country. At the price of losing one of its best players. Folarin Balogun got red carded.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, there's no appeal process for Team USA for the red card itself, but apparently the video-assisted review used slow motion, which is not allowed in determining whether a foul rises to the level of red card or not.
Yeah.
So Team USA can't appeal the decision in the red card itself. Hypothetically, it could appeal the process of using the slow motion and say, hey, you're not allowed to do this. And so because of that, you got to take the red card back.
I would appeal the process because anything that you do, we see this all the time in football, bang, bang, and obviously with targeting and all that, it can look way worse. And he definitely wasn't trying to hurt him. He was making a play on the ball, and the guy fell kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's nowhere else for him to fall, right? And
for the Team USA guy to land.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The guy, the Bosnian, I guess, defender or offensive player kind of fell. The USA player, obviously, they kind of collided, which happens all the time in soccer. Mm-hmm. And so there's nowhere else for it to go. I mean, I would think in real time you would probably see it, and I would imagine if you watched it in full speed, you would say the same thing. So he's one of your star players. I think, look, he had one goal officially. He had one before that was barely in offsides, which is obviously, I think, been happening a lot because USA had another goal that was taken back before offsides at the other end of the field.
And then he was getting yanked pretty much all first half, even before that happened. Yeah, I
would definitely appeal it, and obviously they even said it on the broadcast. This whole yellow card, red card, and how that flows over to another game. It kind of is getting in the way because ultimately in the World Cup you want to have everybody at their full strength. Was it Thierry Henry? He talked about
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry talked about it. He went into big detail in detail into how it went down. Obviously, he has a lot of experience. And what's his name? Is it Zlatan?
Yeah, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah. He even said the same thing. So hopefully they can appeal the process, and hopefully they can clean it up. I mean, it's obviously with USA being in unknown territory right now. You need all hands on deck, but more importantly, you don't want to have a black cloud over this World Cup because it's been one of the more exciting ones. And obviously with the USA doing well, it obviously you don't want it to be like kind of dummied down or minimized by their success by that call.
I don't want to disparage any program, but there are a few programs that come to mind when I saw this tweet last night. Take a bow, Poach, referring to Mauricio Pochettino, the head coach or manager of Team USA. Mauricio Pochettino becomes the U.S. men's national team's all-time winningest coach at the World Cup in one run. He played the non-conference equivalent of I don't know, not maybe as bad as Nebraska football's non-conference this year, but, there were some teams that were tricky, maybe, but it wasn't exactly, murderer's row. Went 2-1 in that one and then won a knockout stage game for the first time since 2002 or whatever. And with that 3 whole wins, like in 1 year, 3 wins, which is number one, a statement on him changing the culture quickly, having a good run, on home soil, yada, yada. But holy crap, how piss poor has U.S. soccer been that 3 wins at the World Cup is the record. You couldn't have won 2 group stage games on accident before.
Landon Donovan turned over in his grave right now, even though he's alive. But yeah, I mean, it's
that hairline's growing back.
Yeah, I know, right? And Alexi Lalas or whatever his name is, he's everybody's. I mean, they're looking at amazement, and he's done a really good job. And you don't want to take it away from him because, to be honest with you, it's the equivalent of Nebraska basketball getting there and winning a couple games. I mean,
you named one of the programs I didn't want to disparage, but it certainly came to mind.
Well, it is what it is, and it's like, look, at some point in time, you have to take steps in order to be good, right? Yeah. And that's what USA has done. It's actually been a strategy, and they didn't have a 100-year plan like the Japanese, federations had, but Japanese Federation is working their 100-year plan to dominate in soccer. USA has came in and actually put resources, thought process, and action behind it and development, and you're seeing it. And they've played well since he's been there. And I think having a coach, and do they call him a captain?
manager, whatever.
Yeah. When you have that type of respect when he walks in, because he's done really well over there in Europe. I think it gives you some credibility. So, look, the celebration after that game, I felt like was probably about 5 minutes too long. I don't know how many times you can hug the same guy and kind of replay it, but you know what? Good for them, man. I mean, there's some pressure on them that has nothing to do with Bosnia being on home soil and performing, and they did well.
Kind of feels like, dare I say, like the Spurs beating OKC. Like, hey, we haven't done this in a while. We just have to do it, have to break through. First time in forever. Now a Belgium team that came back from the brink. I mean, down 2-0 in the 85th minute, came back to tie it. Obviously ended up winning then 3-2 with the same core of three people that beat Team USA back in that like 2014, I think it was.
Yeah.
So should be a fun quarterfinal, not quite quarterfinals. That'd be the Elite Eight, but round of 16 matchup between Team USA and Belgium. We'll move on to hour 3 of Old School. Big thanks as well to Graham Tire Company for their sponsorship of the show. Eric is leaving us. He says, have a good 4th of July weekend, fellas. I'll be comfortably behind a grill or in a pool, drink in hand. Eric, you're living the life. Don't forget, you can take us wherever your 4th of July plans take you on our free 93.7 The Ticket app for your phone. We'll be with you tomorrow for a shorter version of the show, 2-hour show before Culture and Coffee, but 1 more hour for a Thursday coming up next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Are you looking for a place to host company get-togethers, team meetings, or group events? Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the perfect place to host your gathering, with private bays available to meet with clients while you swing the sticks and improve your game. Back 9 Golf offers traditional golf opportunities while also providing fun games and activities available for non-traditional golfers on their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators. Learn about their corporate memberships today and gather your favorite groups together at Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln, just off 14th and Pine Lake Road.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
The law offices of Cotta, Jewson, and Bryant here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and give your blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This from the law offices of Cotta, Jewson, and Bryant here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Your friends at Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln would like to take this time to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time. And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School on this Thursday, July 4th, Eve. We are brought to you by Graham Tire. Graham Tire has been serving the Midwest for 75 years, have 4 locations in Lincoln. Look them up, GrahamTireofLincoln.com. Go in there and they will hook you up. They will give you great service and obviously great tires as well. But they will take care of any of your car and truck needs as well. So whether it's oil change or anything like that, they definitely can handle that for you as well. So we appreciate their support. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate the text line, both on the Starter Heyman text line and on the YouTube. It's off the chain. We will get to you, GBR Captain. Who are you? Identify yourself, GBR Captain, right now. Jim Philippi, offensive coordinator, coach extraordinaire, and everybody else on this Thursday on the, eve of July 4th. And so, there's a lot of good talk. The ties and stuff like that, it's crazy when you read articles in Austin. It's kind of like the dead time, a little bit, Austin. And it lets you know how powerful Nebraska is in the sense that you're writing about ties, and of course there was a little bit of Nebraska in there. You were, we talked yesterday about the overspending in June, and one we didn't even get to the end of the article when one of the general managers says, you know what, we need to put less money and resources into the first weekend in recruiting because generally that's when you want guys to commit, right? When they come in that first week on their visits, because why put a whole bunch of money into the show when you're just going to be paying money anyways, right? So
right. But
it's always in Nebraska. There's always Nebraska in it because they had the Trey Taylor comment or about how much he's getting paid, and obviously he moved to Nebraska, so everybody's under the assumption that he's getting paid, he's getting compensated in some form or fashion, and that's just the day of college football.
I'm not mad at going all in on that first big weekend, though. I mean, if hypothetically those are your big targets, don't you want to throw the best? I don't want to say party, but put on the best face you can. Yeah, I think sinking some money into that is actually worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, I think they, can. But what I'm saying is that they're probably like, well, we don't have to go overboard because ultimately it's going to come down to the check.
Sure.
I don't think you need to bring like bells and whistles, but ultimately a lot of the stuff these guys get, you see some kids do a day in the life of a recruit. They get picked up with from a like a big SUV at home. They get to bring their whole family on official recruiting visits. Or at least I saw. Now maybe they paid for them, but I mean I think that
used to be one adult guardian, and now it's.
But I saw it where the dad, mom, and the whole family went down to Oklahoma. They fly you and then they get you in the hotel and it's a whole bunch of swag and all that stuff. And then they take you around and obviously have the regular recruiting visit. And then, you kind of get introduced and once you commit and then they kind of had like a sooner walk or whatever. I mean, that's what you have to do to get kids to commit. I mean, I think Nebraska, if they can continue along the way of, they need to play well this year. That's 100%. And then obviously 2027 class is good that you're getting some talent. Now it's great. That's a starting point, but the numbers will always be the numbers when it comes to these recruiting classes. Now this could be a recruiting class in theory, right? And it goes both ways that if you can get more hits out of this class, it could be a big foundation. But if you think that these freshmen are going to come in here in a year and a half and start running through the Big Ten, you're crazy.
This isn't 2010's college basketball anymore.
You're crazy. Yeah. And so don't get that out of your mind. Now, what it does to have a good recruiting class, it allows you to recruit freely and hopefully more strategically and efficiently for 2028, 29. It also allows you to potentially use the momentum that you have of, even though it's little momentum, bowl game 24, bowl game 25, obviously bowl game this year and a really good this year recruiting class. So as you're trying to, recruit and I guess, get guys out of the portal, then that makes it more appealing because we're stacking some good seasons. We got a winning tradition. A veteran player is going to come in and get him over the hump along with the guys that are, obviously still on the roster. So it's very, very important. But it's the most important thing, the best recruiting tool, the best NIL tool, the best tool to raise funds or whatever you want to call it is what happens on Saturday. That's why this year is the most pressure packed.
Most pressure packed.
Yeah. Last year, I thought it was close to this year because it was the maturity of handling your business with the schedule and the situation to go along with what some of the players were saying and how much you were out in front of the camera. So it was like, can you back up the talk? Now this year is I call it a super validation year where you have to, of course the schedule's hard. So, you can't say, okay, the record, you got to go from, 7-6 or whatever to, 13 or 12-0. So the record is part of it, but the eye test and how you play and how you fix what the last 3 or 4 weeks we're looking at, let's just say from Minnesota a week on, that's probably fair, right?
Sure.
Have you fixed that? What is different? And how have you leveled up from last year's team? Because as much as you made additions in,
on paper and potentially the offensive line. And they're saying the quarterback fits it better. No matter however you want to cut it, Eckler's gone. I still think Brett will do a good job. There will be like a little bit of just transition time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But more importantly, potentially your all Big Ten returner is in Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of just went under the radar. He kind of, and now granted, everybody blocked for him and everything like that, and you can always obviously have guys that are capable of returners, but you know what he can do, and you have a guy that was okay with being a returner.
He swung actual Big Ten games for you,
Yeah.
not theoretical Big Ten games
Right.
for you.
Yeah. So you got to think. So he's on another team. So as much as the addition, you had a little bit of loss there with him, obviously going to another school. And how quick is the transition or the learning curve lesson, learning this new defense, learning it in a controlled environment in spring, learning it when you're in walkthroughs or when you're out here in summer workouts or whatever they're doing is a lot different when you have to run this defense, execute this defense on the road at Michigan State or in a white knuckle game against Iowa or against Indiana that's kind of coming in well prepared for you, so forth and so on. How do you adjust without looking to the sideline? And those are the things that are going to really determine the season.
Is this the most pressure Matt Rule will face in his time in Nebraska? The most pressure-packed year?
Oh, probably. Because you're longer in your tenure. You got a lot of things going on that really aren't in his control. Every other sport's doing well. You get the new stadium got approved. You got a new contract. All that type of stuff. So there's more pressure with it, but it's not. It's kind of like outside noise pressure, and I guess the only internal pressure is, I guess I don't even call it internal pressure, but the pressure that I'm looking at or evaluating, I want to see, okay, how did this Minnesota game go like that? Like, what was it? Okay, you might have overlooked them. Okay, maybe that's just human nature and immaturity. Okay, that's fine. That's what you said, right? Okay, well then, when you look at the Penn State game, who are going to be the leaders and who's going to really step up to make sure that you don't have, 8 out of your 10 plays with mental errors on simple plays.
Right.
Then you got the Iowa and then, the Utah game, which is a little bit of unique because you can kind of say, okay, you had the distraction of Dylan going in the portal, kind of knew he was in the portal, wasn't in the portal, officially in the portal. Then it kind of that, you let go of your defensive court. So it was a transition. So, and then, Utah was inspired by having their interim coach, be their head coach. And so I can give you excuses on the both end, at the front and the back, just to be empathetic. Realistically, it's all boiled together. Are those things fixed? Are we more explosive on offense? Who is the deep threat? How are we going to replace Emmett? What's the scheme going to look like with Calandra? How is Calandra going to be able to get us over the hump and go out and win some games that he's brought in to do, right? Because that's the big difference. If he fits your system, then he's going to be able to win you games.
Yeah.
That means he's going to be able to make plays that's going to really be able to sway games. So the things that we talked about in other segments, going into overtime, how you got to overtime, did you let the lead go? Did you go back? Did you, overcome a lead and that weren't able to complete the mission in overtime? All that stuff could be remedied by the quarterback play. More importantly, a lot of the anxiety around the program could be remedied by how they play.
Which coordinator is under the most pressure? Holgorsen, Orich, Maher. Potential. I mean, obviously, I know he's splitting the responsibilities.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think Orich has the less. He's the new. Right?
I would think so. And then is there any way that Matt Rule can say, well, we hired a new defensive coordinator, and now there shouldn't be really any pressure on this year?
No, he can't say that. Because he's getting paid too much for it to be like a redshirt year.
It was also his choice to move on from not the previous guy, but the guy before that led him to his third DC in as many seasons now.
No, you can't do that. I think also the reason why he was hired is because of his teaching abilities to lessen the learning curve.
Sure.
And with his team or with it. And then also he's surrounded by a lot of the coaches he handpicked. A lot of, he didn't have previous coaching experience with Addison Williams or Dvorak, but he had with Manning and Brown. And so he signed off on, Addison Williams and obviously Dvorak. So that's your staff. So, if I had to take over at like Duke, but I wasn't able to bring in my assistants, I don't only have my guys. I'm not only coordinating, I'm teaching the other positions. They're teaching the coaches. It's kind of ready made there for have a real short learning curve.
Okay, so then let's use that logic. What's the difference then between a coach like Matt Rule saying that's not my guys or his guys? You're on the team that I'm coaching. You're our guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any difference between saying that about the roster versus the coaching staff?
No, I don't think that you'll hear it. But I was just saying, as far as like who has the most pressure on them, and how you can't have the excuse this is your first year, because actually you're in a really advantageous position. And I know he's coached with the new safeties coach as well that came from Philly late. So
Yelk.
Yeah, so you have the continuities there. That's all I'm saying. And so I'd probably say the most pressure maybe on Dana, just because your pedigree is the most on all three coordinators. You've been here the longest. You say Calandria fits your style of play, and then the offensive line is better. And I think the skill position, especially the wide receiver room, is probably overall a little bit better this year, even though you have Hunter and Barney coming back. I think Gilmer and the development of Quinn Clark, you're getting them at their best, not at their best, but you get them at their ascending position now. So, offensively, you have to be more of a Big Ten offense, but you have to be explosive. That's really a hard thing to do, but they have the tools that could do it.
What does that look like for Nebraska this year?
Well, you got to be able to run the ball when they know you're going to run it, and be able to get it. So then you're going to have to run it like for real, run it, not like kind of trick you runs and like, I call them the spread them out like in dime and get them like that. You're going to have to line up and push people off the ball. That's that's be able to run the ball Big Ten wise, and obviously stop the run is obviously a byproduct of that. And then being more explosive, it's either schematically, obviously, or players, and sometimes it's both. So how are you gonna? The first thing is you got to know who you have in your roster that can be explosive, right? Take the tops off and how you do that. Then you have to marry your system and your scheme to that. Know when, how, and to call those plays that they're the most effective. And so that's where they got it. Those are the two things they got to get better at. Sure, we see it right here, and Big Red Captain or Captain Big Captain. What is he called?
GBR Captain.
GBR Captain. You still haven't identified yourself. We might block you, but he says he says that the red zone is essentially just like OT. Overtime, that's where you're just in the red zone offense. Red zone offense, the good red zone offenses they understand two things: how to attack and who to attack. The opponent in the red zone. And who to attack generally is when you get close to the goal line. How to attack in the red zone and having the philosophy how to do it. Sometimes, as we saw, where some teams like to go horizontal, side to side. Some teams like to go vertical and really put a lot of pressure on you. Some teams understand you can do both, and you have to find sweet spots in the red zone and understand the defensive philosophy of the opponent in the red zone. Once you do that, you formulate your playbook to take advantage of that, and you need the players to do that as well.
Yeah, I think the way that it makes sense to me to phrase, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, is you're not just picking out the weak link because you want to stick with what you do well, but it almost seems to me like there's some element of where's the weakest link in this defense and what's the play, what's the concept that we're best at that attacks that player. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at
I say I don't know much about football. I didn't think I was that far.
I was laughing at Jim Phillippe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's red zone offense is, I mean, number one, you can't have any, first of all, your philosophy, we don't want any negative plays. There's direct access plays to the quarterback or running back. The direct access plays for people listening is when you snap the ball, essentially the defender has direct access to the mesh point of where it starts. That means somebody missed the block, or you got blown up in the run game or pass game. You can't have any of those. And then obviously that includes penalties too, legal procedures, lining up wrong and all that type of stuff, personal fouls or whatever you want to call it. Then you have to be able to run the ball at a clip that you're at. Obviously, you want 3.5, 4 yards of carry, but you're able to get over 3 yards when you're able to run the ball. And then when you have a chance to get a 6+ yard run, right, as we're talking in the red zone, you have to turn that into a first down plus. What I mean by that is, say if it's blocked up by scheme, blocked up by execution, the running back is able to get to the second level. So that's 5 or 6 yards, right? He has to be able to make more hay out of that to be on the attack to set up explosive plays in the red zone. Then how to attack the red zone from a passing game, you have to understand the coverage, and you have to think players, not plays. What player runs a bang eight, a skinny post better than anybody else that can win against man coverage or off man coverage, or dictate the coverage, how it rolls against zone. And then who can make somebody miss in the middle of the field? Where can we get Barney the ball, Mosey, or whoever else to make the second level defender miss? That turns into a touchdown, even if we get to the goal line. Then we have to lean on the offensive line, and that's going to be formation-based that we got to be able to punch that bad boy in.
Obviously, it's both art and science in terms of play calling on offense and defense. It's been a while, Jay, since I think I felt Nebraska has control of a, Big Ten game, control of game flow, control of, time score situation. And the other team just doesn't know what's coming next or doesn't have an answer. And, I know a lot of time goes into game planning. I know Nebraska hasn't exactly, put dudes into the NFL left and right in terms of the talent on the team. I'm still waiting for Dana Holgorsen to consistently, for 4 quarters, outcoach an opposing defensive coordinator, and namely Phil Parker, right, at Iowa. Right? Dana and Phil have both been doing it for a long time. Two of the best in the game in their own ways. But I know it comes down to players making plays. I know you're never, consistently going to press the right button, 65 times in a game, right? And call the perfect play all 65 times. I know that's not how it works, and it's on the players to make whatever the play call is right. That's their job. It's what they're paid to do. But it would be nice to feel like Nebraska's working from out in front. Like you see the first quarter, I go back to that Wisconsin game a couple of years ago. Nebraska gets up by 2 scores early, and then Wisconsin comes back in. Or Nebraska gets up on Iowa, and then they don't have an answer from there. I'm not trying to say it's all play calling. I'm not trying to say it's all execution. It just seems like, from my vantage point, Nebraska hasn't been the one that's sitting in the driver's seat when it comes to the coach versus coach matchup, right? It seems like if Nebraska is doing something right, it hasn't always thought ahead to, okay, what's the opponent going to try to take away, assuming what we want to do goes to plan, and how do we come back with that? And maybe they haven't, they've just missed on some of those plays, and that's impossible to tell. But it just feels to me anecdotally like Nebraska is even at best in coaching, and they don't always have, that one step ahead sort of mentality or plan, at least that's come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be in those coaching meetings to know that, obviously. But I see where you're going is like the ability to forecast, the what ifs, and obviously that's people call those adjustments. I think those things are very, very important. I think also you got to think that execution is got to be utmost. I'll tell you the story like this. I remember when my 4th year, Greg Williams came into Buffalo, and look, we've had at this point in time when I was at Buffalo, we had the number 3 defense, number 1, and number 8 or 9. I mean, we were a really good defense. Now Greg came in and the scheme was totally different. It went from a 3-4 to 4-3, kind of a little bit of 46 in there. But when we did one of our first red zone drills, and particularly I remember like in the season, or like when we're still in training camp, but we're really, starting to get intense.
Mm-hmm.
The type of detail and the type of intensity and the importance that they talked about red zone was 75% of the meeting every single week. You know what I'm saying? And so my point is this: when you're offensively and you're in the red zone, that's when you practice it, it has to be perfect. It has to be intentional. The execution has to be excellent. You can't be, because everything happens faster and you're in smaller spaces. So you can't get the ball, say like on an option route, and you just say instead of an option route down there, you might only run it like 3 yards in option and get it. Well, you got to stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. When you're at the 50 and you're going against soft zone coverage and he's coming top down, you might be able to shake and bake a little bit. Those are the things that every single player has to know.
Yeah.
And that's in order to be a really good, offensive team in general, a red zone team, but more importantly, a more explosive team in the red zone.
Mhm.
Because if you're not getting every yard moving forward and working sideways or backwards, you won't be very good. You won't be very good. So that's where they have to get a lot better at. They got to understand which players can do what. And then, the guys that are your headline guys, they got to make plays down there. You got to make 50-50 balls. Nothing's going to be easy. You're not going to be wide open down there. You can't.
Right. There's just not space to be wide open.
Not space. So you're going to have to be creative, and execution is going to have to be really good.
Well, and to that point, I came on this show and post game as well, not exactly enamored of Nebraska's early, red zone strategy of Dane Key down there somewhere, Isaiah Hunter down there somewhere. Whether it was, chemistry or whether it was getting off the ball or whether it was ball placement, whatever it wasn't a 50-50 proposition for Nebraska throwing that fake, and I know it's a touch pass. It's a little bit different, but I think when you go to scheme, that's one of those, again, I wish I was in these meetings to understand the thought process, because if your best shot is a 50-50 ball, throw it up to the guy that you think is your best option, like you said, there's less space. It's hard to get creative, but if your best option is 3-step drop, throw it toward the end zone, hope something goes well, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement of, where you're at as an offense.
No, I don't think that's the process. I mean, I think of Dane Key when he was at Kentucky, that was kind of his bread and butter. I think it comes from ball placement. That comes from off-season work. That it comes from communication. Because to be honest with you, we'll go to break. We'll talk about this more in the second segment. I think 50-50 balls are no longer 50-50.
Oh.
They're offensive guys on back shoulder fades and all that type of stuff, even at this level at college, should be winning anywhere from 65% on up.
Offense should have an advantage?
Yeah, they should have an advantage. The rules go in your way. They can't, jam you up in the line of scrimmage. In ball placement, based on the aggressive nature of the way that they're able to call plays because the rules allow it, you should be able to win it, more than 50%. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And so where the ball's going. So we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But then also we'll talk a little bit more what happens after July 1st, what your mindset is, as a football player, but then more importantly as a football program. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lake and forecast for today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high near 91. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, a low around 74. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms early. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot, a high near 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Save for high-end spirits at their stylish back shelf bar, enjoy a healthy, family-friendly menu, and catch all your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets located on 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second segment, 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, talking a little red zone, taking some tips from Jim Phillippe. But it's a big year for Nebraska, no matter what. And obviously, we got some text here. We want to get to these as well. Thomas and Lincoln says every down is 4th and 1. I think that's the mentality you need to have because that means everything's important. Unknown texter 5215 says a dominant line on both sides of the ball solves a lot of problems. That's probably the biggest. If you make an adjustment into your red zone, that will do it. That will help your red zone defense and your offense. Kristen Seward says Nebraska football hasn't had enough clear advantages in a long time, or at least the results would say they haven't. And you know what? The way that you have parity in college football, there, you're not going to have. I mean, Jeremiah Smith has a clear advantage against everybody that he goes against, maybe for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Until he starts to get a little bit older. But there's not going to be that true clear advantage against guys. At this point in time, you got to earn that, and then also you got to develop into that. And guys got to continue to work at it. You got to go out there and win. You're not going to roll anybody anymore. We're not at that place right now as a program. We got to go out and beat guys. You talked about Dana against Phil Parker. You got to beat Iowa. That's what makes Iowa tough. They make you beat them. They're not going to have a whole bunch of penalties. They're really not going to have a whole bunch of turnovers. They're not going to give up a whole bunch of points. So you're in for a dogfight every single game, and you better be ready to play 4 quarters now.
And you have to recognize that fact and realize, to your point, you're not going to roll people.
Right.
So you got to tighten up the little stuff.
Well, really, if you know that, do you say, okay, look, we're gonna devil in the details. We're gonna be excellent at the details. We're gonna be fundamentally sound, but also we're gonna be a tough-minded, a tough, physical, football team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you have to really demand, no matter what space you're in, NIL or anything like that, freshman or all the way up to a 5th-year senior. It has to be demanded, and guys have to go out there and play like it, because
the more that's an emphasis that's like a non-negotiable. Playing against Iowa is no big deal. Like it really shouldn't. Like I think sometimes when you lose to Iowa, and I think there's different ways we lost to Iowa. Like so, let's just go back to the overtime. Remember when Nebraska had Iowa, and they could have forced overtime, right? Or really, when you talk about the tie situation, you would end up tying. I think it was 3rd and 26, and Adrian was trying to, run, and then he ran out of bounds.
Yep.
Well, that's playing winning football by staying inbounds. You go to overtime, and you like your chances.
Take
right?
your chances.
Take your chances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like my chances then too.
Well, yes, I would normally say like your chances, except that Nebraska's been so bad in overtime. At the very least,
but
it's
I
take your
always
chances.
like my chances because I have a chance to win. That's
one
just
drive for the rest.
That's my mentality, right? But we didn't get the chance to do that because
you ran out of bounds,
and we gave Iowa a chance to, walk the game off. And so when you think about it, in the versus 2 years ago, we go to Iowa City. I think it was a night game. Cold as all get out. Nick Sanders up there, and we literally beat the brakes off of Iowa. Against Iowa, beating the brakes off of them as a sense of dominated the game, except for they got one play.
Yeah.
One play. And it was one play that was a good play call. It wasn't a great play call. It was about, I think we did it on the whiteboard Wednesday, and break it down. We'll do it as we start to get into the preseason. We'll go back and find it again. It was probably more on Nebraska than what Iowa did, and they end up winning the game. Yeah. That's different. Those two games, right, are self-inflicted, right? You talk about how you get to overtime, or more importantly, it'd be a really good thing to go back and look how we didn't get to overtime or how we didn't win those games, the one-score games. Because I think the one-score games when Scott Frost were, those are fake. You're down by like 20-some points, and you get within one. I don't care about that.
I didn't even count those games in this list. I didn't just do the one-score games. I did the ones that Nebraska actually held the lead, not the ones where Nebraska.
But the Iowa game is a perfect example, and the one, in one of Scott's first years, right, or with Adrian or whatever, is like those. That's in one category when you talk about Iowa. Like that's not the Iowa game where you got to beat them. That's like where you beat yourself. You don't get on the bus and think like, especially 2 years ago, that we couldn't handle them physically. That's when we had Ty and Nash. We were fine.
Yeah,
we just decided to tackle each other instead of the running back on the screen pass. Right.
One guy hit him high, then you tackled each other. 72-yard house call.
Right, and then you had a kind of a loaf, and then a bad play entry. And then it was like, oh, you're probably going to tackle him because I'm used to you tackling him all game. And then I was, kind of in throttle down mode. And then he ends up, busting out a big run. Or on the other side, where there's games like when Bo was here, especially with Mike Riley, and, a little bit now in the second half this year, where I felt like they physically got after us. Right? That's what the measuring stick is right there. You have to look at, okay, what was it at those 3 or 4 games, whenever it was. I guess throw the Minnesota game in there, but, and that, you can make the excuse you weren't ready to play. At the end of the day, the tape is the tape. What have we done to remedy that? How does that affect the red zone? Because that controls the whole game. So how physical are we on special teams? That means kickoff included, right? And kickoff return up front. Are we destroying their front line? And is our front line destroying theirs? And what our lines are doing, the red zone becomes a lot easier because we're able to set the tempo. I was pretty good in the red zone. Field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. How did they score that many points? Because they keep playing field position, but they keep beating you up mentally and physically. And they're essentially, you're eventually going to, miss a tackle. They're going to get a, tight end open. They had a quarterback that could run off schedule. You do that, or they, get somebody to break a tackle on. They always run stop routes on the stop route. There they go. And then once they get to the goal line, they figure they can move anybody off the line of scrimmage.
Well, then they're up 2 possessions, and then it's crap. It's an uphill battle.
Then they know exactly what you're going to play. You can't really run the ball. They have enough pass rush, and they're very, very smart in their pass rush lanes.
Parker's a DB guy by trade, so he has those guys coaching in possession.
And then they secondary pass rush too, effort plays and all that. And that's how they end up beating you by double digits or anybody in double digits. That's how they're able to go and beat Vanderbilt when they're heavily favored or they were the underdog in Iowa's case. So you have to win the line of scrimmage in order to be a very, very effective red zone. If you look at Nebraska, you look at, Ohio State, you look at Indiana, they're able to run the ball and run the ball effectively.
Well, and I think the other thing that stands out to me in this list of games, really from anywhere on the field, but just the games in general, is the lack of response from Nebraska, right? You think about the USC game, right? Nebraska has the lead. USC scores, they're back in, and they score, take the lead. Nebraska does, and then USC just marches right down the field. I think about Ohio State a couple of years ago. Nebraska scores, takes the lead at home, and then immediately gives up the lead on the next possession. And I've mentioned this, I know, on the show before too. I don't want to put it all on the defense for not being able to get one more stop, right? Because they've been put in some tricky situations, right?
Yeah.
They played so well all game, holding these teams under their scoring limit. It seems to some degree unfair to put it on them. Well, why can't you just get one more stop? You've done it all game. But also, isn't that the dividing line between good and great, to answer the bell? And on the flip side of that, I think of the offense more in the meltdowns where you get out to a big lead. And again, maybe it's like Colorado, or maybe it's like Michigan State from this last year, where defense and special teams help. You get 7 points that you weren't expecting from, a special play, a pick six, or a block punt touchdown. Okay, so be it. But for the offense to not be able to get one more first down, or for Nebraska's offense not to be able consistently to respond, like the Illinois game I go back to as well a couple of years ago. Nebraska would score. What would Illinois do? Score. Nebraska would get a stop. Offense couldn't take advantage. Illinois would get a stop. Nebraska has been so bad at extending its scoring runs by one more possession, even with just a field goal, or at stopping opponents' runs by one more possession. And some of that, sure, play call, coaching, scheme, that's just players too. Who's a playmaker? Who's a difference maker that says, and it's obviously it's easier in basketball, right? Because you can just hit a bucket to stop a run. You can get a steal to stop a run. It's different in football, ultimate team sport and all that. But man, Nebraska's just been one drive, one play, one player away from extending its own runs or stopping an opponent's run one possession sooner, where you've built a cushion and, okay, you gave most of it back, but you didn't give all of it back. Nebraska's been so bad about giving all the cushion back as opposed to most of it.
And I'm going to take it even a step further. I'll even lower the grading system. After you get a lead and then say you get a stop, how about 2 first downs? Because I know the importance of field or field possession off those 2 first downs. Because if we score and we get the ball back, that means we probably held you at the 50 or on your side of the 50 as your opponent. That means we probably received the punt at the 20, right? If we get 2 first downs.
Well, that's average field position, essentially.
Right, average, 20, 25. That means we're at the 40-yard line at worst. That means if our special teams are playing like they should,
3 minutes off the clock.
3 minutes off the clock, we're able to pin you down again into maybe your 10 or 15-yard line. Great would be at the 8-yard line. We should be able to get the ball back at the 44-yard line or less, and then a first down or 2, and then now we get it. So it doesn't have to be immediate score. It has to be immediate response and positivity. I think we get the score, maybe let off the gas, maybe think that, instead of keep running and whatever is working, then we get to the point that we don't get a first down. We kind of go, we lose the momentum because we get a negative play. We might get a, legal procedure or whatever it is. And then now we're at 1st and 15. We haven't even got out of the starting blocks at 1st and 10. We haven't been able to run a play forward. So the momentum we give away, self-inflicted wounds. Defensively, the same thing. Like you said, okay, the offense scores. Can we get a stop? Okay, if you instead of letting them score a touchdown, can we hold them to a field goal? Because we still, if we're going, a touchdown for a field goal, we still have the 4-point advantage, right? And so that's where we have to get better. That's learning how to win. That's learning how to be that much more detailed in your defense. And it'll really the tell-all sign defensively would be, I want to see how they play. Some guys play this year versus last year based on this 4-3 probably fits the personnel a little bit better.
Yeah.
4-man front. So with that being said, the players have said it. Everybody else has kind of hinted around it. Then we're going to see. So I expect the production of some guys to skyrocket. Right? Because if it doesn't.
If you're in a better position to succeed with your skill set.
Then if it doesn't, then you can't look at anybody else but yourself. And it has to be immediate, and it has to be almost every game. So we shall see. We're up against the break. We're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this Thursday. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Your friends at Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln would like to take this time to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Under Par Golf Studio here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Heads up, LES customers, July 31st is almost here. And that's when our Fairfield Street customer lobby is closing for good. The good news, we've still got plenty of ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Are you looking for a jump start on your health and fitness this summer? The next Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starts July 11th. And right now, ticket listeners can save an incredible $200 off the 10-week challenge. Our proven program combines kickboxing, strength training, nutrition coaching, and accountability to help you lose fat, build strength, and create healthy habits that last. No matter your current fitness level, our coaches will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait until summer is over to start feeling better. Join the Farrell's 10-week challenge starting July 11th and save $200 as a ticket listener. Visit fxblincoln.com today. That's fxblincoln.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results you can see and feel.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
The law offices of Cotta, Jewson, and Bryant here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and give your blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This from the law offices of Cotta, Jewson, and Bryant here in Lincoln. Stay united and keep America safe and strong. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Last segment here before we turn it over to who's after this? Who's that sick?
We will have our golfers. Should be Arden and McKenzie for the next couple hours or so.
They need to give everybody at the ticket some lessons. They need to commentate on everybody. Have us go golf and they can commentate. That'd be a serious YouTube channel, man. They would.
I finally learned to lift the ball in baseball, but I still can't lift a golf ball.
Well, I think you hit down on the golf ball.
But even baseball is supposed to be just like hands to it.
Yeah, you hit behind the ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
In golf.
Yeah, it's never clicked with me. So
it looks so easy. Everybody's, I'll just do this, keep your head still, and all this. It never works. Yeah, no. And so I was blaming on the wind of the clubs. But look, man, it's July 2nd, so the 4th is on Saturday. So essentially, in my mind, or like I'm thinking about football and the football mindset is right when like for me, any football player will tell you when it comes to July, your body starts and your mind starts to start to think about football. But for these guys, look, it's great. You're on vacation. I saw where Mills or it's down there with TJ Lateef in Florida and all that. I mean, that's great and all that. You guys got, a week off or whatever. Ultimately, every day that you drive from your apartment or house or condo, whatever you got, you bet it's got to cross your mind. You're about to go and lock in, and it's going to be hard because there is no turning back now. And the only thing that you don't want as an athlete is any questions or regret or whether you laid it on the line to be ready, because the without having any two-a-days, you're no longer able to play your way into season shape. Right. There is no really, for us, we used to, I don't forget what it was. We used to have a knockdown, drag out, essentially a spring scrimmage without the fans there, like before we, when the two-a-days broke. Mm-hmm. They don't have two-a-days anymore.
They have 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, they got 2 and then a day off or whatever they got. So, whatever these guys are doing, my only advice is like, you could cram for the test. If you need to crank it up a little bit this last 3-4 weeks, I would not take any time off right now. Mm-hmm. You'll have plenty of time for that. You'll be more than rested. You got the Taj Mahal facility over there. Your recovery, you should be able to practice as hard as you can every day. You better have your mindset and your mind right and your body right, because the mindset has to be you're going to exceed expectations, even your own. Mm-hmm. And if that's not it, come 3 or 4 months, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for some of them players. People are going to
deservedly so.
Hey, they'll call in some checks, man, and those checks will get a little bit light. So, anyways, thanks for you guys listening. Appreciate all the texts on this Thursday on this. Eve of July 4th. We know that everybody's off and running. Be safe out there, but we'll holler at you tomorrow. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll talk to you tomorrow.